Welcome everyone to the Kind of Game Awards. This is the pre-game. This is the pre-game awards.
Pre-game awards
before the Game Awards, where we're gonna
like me taking my pre-workout before going to the
gym. Yeah, we know all about going to the gym. We're gamers. We go to the gym. Ben goes to the gym. None of it. I don't.
Ben just goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ben's like,
it's not my fault.
No, I don't.
I don't even exercise.
I don't even work out, bro. It's born this way.
That's from Princess Bride.
Yeah, I remember.
For episode 8, I'm back. You didn't know I was gone.
Return of the King.
Wait. Thank you, Court. I appreciate that.
Aww.
Wait, why didn't they know you were gone?
Well,
they knew you.
We had issues with the video. There was no video last week.
Yeah, but the audio. But they would have heard that you.
Pretty sure.
How many people listen to the audio compared to the video? I don't know.
I think actually more listen to the audio.
I was talking with Lily, and I was like, I didn't see the video. I didn't find the episode.
Yeah, so basically what happened,
we do have an audio version, by the way.
The audio version is
Maybe
up.
that's
It's
what the
on
issue is.
Spotify.
We have the footage.
And Apple.
It's
And
just
Apple.
that it was
And Amazon.
basically
And-
impossible
and
to
in the
edit it
Amazon.
due
And
to
Google.
school,
And in,
him being gone, and him
Tim
having
Cook's
a wedding.
Head.
So
I got man weed.
What is
the heck is going on over there?
Well, I was
I was-
listening
I
to
was
platforms
thinking-
it was on, and he went Tim Cook's
Well, I was
head.
thinking the CEO of Google, but then I realized Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple. So I
He committed to the bit before he realized.
I
the bit
did.
was wrong.
That's pretty much what it is.
Well, points for dedication.
He's got this. He's a bit confused, but he's got the right
He's got
spirit.
the spirit. Who is the CEO of Google?
It's I don't remember his name. Who knows? But anyways,
Google
8.
me.
It's bigger than 7 and smaller than 9. Anyways, we don't have a whole lot of news. Today's episode will be a lot of discussion based, as Court said, Game Awards, and then we have an email to talk about.
We got an email that wasn't from Scott, you
Yeah,
guys.
unbelievable.
I didn't realize other people.
I didn't realize we had other
people that
other
sent us
people that
emails.
watch
Actually,
the
we
sh-
do
that
have other
watch the
people who enjoy our
podcast.
podcast. Actually, we did run across
We
a couple
discovered quite
of
a
our
few
viewers at Ben's wedding.
Which Ben is now married.
That's
Everyone,
Yes,
clap,
everybody,
claps for Ben.
join me in welcoming Ben to the Married Man Meta.
The Married
Let's
Man
go.
Meta.
Left side. Or I
It's
guess the
crazy.
right
My
side.
sister's also married now too. It's just completely unrelated.
What a
but,
coincidence.
You know.
And
Ben,
also,
you will forever be
speaking of-
welcome.
Speaking of crazy coincidences, the fact that we ran into one of the piano guys at your wedding
Yeah,
reception.
your family's crazy connections,
Yeah.
Court.
Yeah.
The Lawrences have so
He's
many
in
connections.
an award. Like
Why
I don't
not?
know. Like
Yeah. You're in an award with one of the piano guys.
that's fair.
He was fun to talk to. He was a
Yeah,
cool
so
guy.
that was why there was no episode last week, because we were in St. George for. Ben's
We
wedding.
were busy helping this man get married, so, you know.
And by helping,
Well, all of the helping him getting married happened several months ago.
We
You know,
were
you're
eating
right.
food.
We were more of just helping to celebrate
We
the
were
wedding.
helping celebrate.
we
the
were
wedding.
helping eat the unholy amount of donuts that were bought for the wedding.
And
so
Olive
many
Garden. There was a
donuts.
lot of
That was a
Olive
lot of
Garden.
Olive Garden. That's true.
And blow all of the bubbles.
And blew all the bubbles.
There's a lot of bubbles.
And discovered that by whistling into the bubble wand, you can blow bubbles a little more effectively than just blowing.
Oh, I thought when you blow into the bubble wand, the bubbles, when they pop, they make a whistle noise.
Yeah, this is like SpongeBob.
Like in
something,
SpongeBob,
yeah.
like when he makes the elephant and it makes an elephant noise when it pops.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. If anyone can figure out how to store sound in a bubble, let me know.
Yeah, not gaming related, but yeah, Ben got married, so now there's the
game of life.
There's the
my
married
friends.
side of the podcast.
The married
and the
side
single
and the
of
single
podcast,
side.
So.
So when one of us gets married, do we just
Maidenless.
move over?
Yeah, I guess slowly we'll all
the
just
maiden,
drift
the
to the
maidenless
left.
side of the podcast.
Just slowly drift to the left.
just
So
gradually
does that mean that
leaving one
Lillian
of us
can never-
behind.
Does that mean that Lillian can never sit over there again if she's ever when she's
Oh,
hosting?
no,
or
Well,
it's-
when
no,
she's
it's
ever
different when
sitting
you're
over?
subbing in for someone. The rules go out the window. But for
Okay.
the
No,
status
no.
quo-
It's because she doesn't have any maidens.
true.
That's true. Lillian has no
So
maiden.
no maidens.
I mean,
no maidens.
yeah, but
She has a man maiden.
A man maiden. I don't know that's the term. I don't know,
I don't know if that's the
technical
term we're
for
gonna
it.
use
A
here.
manin.
A man. Oh gosh.
Lillian, don't let your husband listen to this episode of the podcast. I
Court
don't
just called
want
him a
him.
man
I don't want
maiden.
him to know that I called him a man maiden. Like,
Bro just got called a femboy.
No.
God.
Anyway, so one of the big pieces of news
The only
we wanted
piece
to
of
cover
news we're covering.
today was that it has been. A lot of you have probably already heard of
The
this because
official
it's been a bit, but officially it has been announced that Nintendo is partnering with Sony to make a live-action Legend of Zelda movie
Starring Chris Pratt.
Starring
Starring Chris Pratt
as Zelda.
Zelda.
Using
That actually,
zero voice
although
acting
that
skills.
actually does make me really sad because thinking about that, like the whole Chris Pratt as Zelda and Link and Ganondorf and everyone,
Garfield.
Just
meme,
all of them.
and Garfield, but it kind of makes me sad because Robin Williams always said that he really wanted to play Ganondorf. That was like his.
That would have been
That was
amazing.
his
That would have
big
been like
thing
on
is
the
he
same
was like-
legendary level as Jack Black's Bowser.
Yeah,
It's
like-
Robin Williams.
It's
Ganondorf.
Robin Williams Ganon. Because like when that was like one of his like he named his daughter Zelda. Like he loved the Zelda series, and he was like,
Absolutely.
if Nintendo ever makes a Zelda movie, please let me play Ganon.
So only a handful of years too late.
No casting has been announced, so we're not
don't
going to
know
go
who.
delve down the speculation rabbit
No,
hole.
it's going to be Chris
Um,
Pratt for everything.
The cool thing though is that Shigeru Miyamoto is producing it.
Yes.
So it's like
Yeah.
they've got official like
So they're-
all like it's more official Nintendo hands than Mario was.
Which
And
is crazy
it's-
because Nintendo was very deep into the making.
Yeah,
of
no,
Mario.
it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
Nintendo's
they-
even
they had a
bigger
great
into
deal
the
of
making
control.
of this Zelda movie now.
But like, get this right. Apparently, what?
My favorite part of the Zelda movie was when Link went, "Hut?" and then proceeded to "hut" all over Ganon.
That is too good.
When Link
Is
said,
that-
"Oh boy, smooching time."
I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
not the Zelda.
I'm
CD.
so
Yeah,
hungry.
the Chris
I could
Phillips
eat an
CD.
Octorok.
Oh god.
That was actually that first one was from the TV show.
Well, they're all that same.
That whole
they're all
era
lumped
of
together.
Yeah.
sideline Zelda
They're all-
content
they're
was
all lumped
cursed beyond
together.
all imagining. But there's been some interviews and a Nintendo investor question and answer thing that he did with the co-producer he's working with to make this movie, Avi Arad. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly,
Sure.
maybe.
so.
Apparently, the two of them have been discussing how to do this movie for 10
Yeah,
years.
no, I mean that checks
Dang.
out.
Yeah.
10 whole years this has been in the works.
Yeah.
Checks out.
And holy smokes, like this is gonna. I mean,
I mean,
like, I
Nintendo's
think
financing
Arcane
over
was in a
50%
similar
of it,
like
so-
time period of development, so
They want to get it
Like,
right.
they
I
wanna
feel
get it right.
And I
it's
think
just-
it makes sense that they, after the success of the Mario movie,
they'd
like
be
I could
now's
see
the time to
them
move forward.
kind of being like, we've had this idea for a Zelda movie for
Let's
a
go
long
for it.
time, but we didn't want to like push the green light on it. But then the Mario movie was a massive success, and so they're like, okay, like we can give it a go.
Like sure.
Yeah, we have
Let's go.
no release date, no cast. We only know Shigeru Miyamoto's producing it and Arad is directing it, and then
There were
no,
some
Wes
other-
Ball is directing it, and then Arad is co-producing it.
There were some other movies that have come out relatively recently that Avi Arad has been
Producing.
like a part of. I feel
I
like I can't
not
remember what they
entirely
were,
sure of
but
them,
like
but-
there were some pretty big names. Like
There were. I had it just a minute ago. Let me see if I can. Oh, great! It's not on this article about the subject.
Venom.
Oh,
Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Okay, that's right. He
He
was
did
in the-
Spider-Verse.
This-
Beyond the Spider-Verse.
All I see is Spider-Man movies
so
and
he's done
Spider-Man
a lot of
related
Well, I mean,
stuff.
he's probably
Link,
with Sony.
across
He's probably
the
close
link.
with,
Yeah.
with Sony.
So, yeah. Anyway, it
So-
looks like they're probably going to make a pretty amazing movie.
Get
I'm
hyped
very
for
curious.
it. We know absolutely nothing about it, and we are not going to speculate about it because that's
speculate-
Pandora's
can you
box I
speculate a
don't
little
want to
bit?
open.
Can you speculate a
No,
little bit?
it'll go out.
It's
It'll
a-
get
it's
out
a
of
little
hand.
bit too early.
little bit.
There's nothing to
I
speculate.
will say, I am a little surprised at their choice of live action for this.
Live
Well,
action's
probably
interesting.
because they just maybe they just want to do something different.
Wait, it's
I
live
guess.
action?
it's live
Yeah,
action.
it's live action.
Yeah.
Which
so they need
I
to
just
find an
feel
actor
like
who looks like Link
most of Nintendo's properties work better
Animated.
as animated.
as animated.
Can you
100%.
guys
I-
imagine like
Maybe
a
because
Legend
they
of-
want to spend less of the budget on CG and they want to spend more of it on CG than actually full blown animating it.
I guess.
Maybe.
Honestly,
And I
the
feel like
only
with
Nintendo
the type of fantasy setting though that we have in Legend of Zelda, it lends itself much better to live action than most of their other properties like Mario.
It is more grounded. Not well, I
To
mean
a
not grounded in
degree.
reality, but it's
Grounded, but
easier
just, like-
to
But I
present
mean, like,
live action.
how,
You can
how
see
are
it
we
in a
like?
style similar
We're
to
gonna
Lord
see
of the
like
Rings for
we're gonna see like
visuals.
live action Gorons and live action like Zoras and stuff, and like
Which could be
I
pretty
would-
cool.
it could be really cool, or like I don't know. It just
Or really
seems like a
unnerving.
Live action, yeah.
yeah,
Koroks, yes.
like I don't know.
Nintendo won't let it be bad though.
Oh, they won't let it
So
be bad,
I'm
but
not-
I am
not.
curious.
I'm
It is
not.
curious to me that they're
Nintendo
they're going
let
in on a live action.
Sword and Shield, or not Sword and Shield. What was the what just came out?
What?
What was the most recent Pokemon game that came out?
So here's the deal:
Scarlet
Nintendo
Violet?
doesn't
Scarlet
directly make the Pokemon games.
But they let them come out.
They do,
Yeah, but Pokemon isn't
they're-
first party
Yeah.
like Zelda is. or
Yeah.
Mario
Also,
is.
Pokemon is single-handedly the best-selling IP.
They
of
could
all
they could
time.
put
Of
out
all
they could put out
time.
literal garbage and it
Yeah,
would sell
like I
like
mean,
hotcakes.
if Pokemon wants to say no, heck you, Nintendo, we're gonna put this out. Even Nintendo can't really be like, no,
No.
you know, like
Yeah.
because
No.
Pokemon can just throw money at things. And
Yeah.
say yes, you know, like.
And people are like, "Oh, someone's gonna acquire Nintendo." I'm like, Nintendo has a large share of the ownership of the Pokemon Company, which has the highest grossing media franchise of all time, and it's not close. So I don't think anyone's gonna buy them. I think if
You guys
anything,
want to know
they'd be
what
buying other
number
people.
2 is?
It's
Hello Kitty. Isn't
Hello
it?
Kitty.
Yeah, it's Hello
Kitty.
Kitty. The second highest grossing media franchise of
anyways,
all time.
we'll keep
Also,
our eyes
Batman
on
and
the,
Spider-Man
they are
alone
a
are up
lot.
there, like more
both
so
pretty
than
high.
their respective. Like I'm pretty sure Batman is higher than DC as a whole, and Spider-Man
sure.
is higher than Marvel as a whole.
That
Which is
checks
crazy.
out.
Yeah.
We'll keep our eyes on the Zelda movie. There'll probably be an episode next season about it, or the following season, whenever actual
Whenever
stuff
we
is
get more
announced.
information,
So we will discuss it without Kyle at that point.
I'll be.
He'll ring in. He'll leave us with
You need a
notes.
special return.
No, I'll.
Special
Well, he'll
return
just
episode.
he'll just leave me. He'll
I'll just
send
need
me
to make
some
a
notes.
cameo in the movie and just
There
do
you
a shout out to the Knights of the
as
Demon.
Zelda.
as Zelda.
As Zelda, you turn around. It's
At the
just
very
me
end of the
with
movie,
the beard.
Link's like
Luke Skywalker moment, but Kyle as Zelda.
Zelda just turns around. It's just Link. And it's just it's just Kyle.
So that's like
It's
the
just me,
biggest
Link.
piece of news. It's actual
Link.
news because the biggest other thing we want to talk about is the Game Awards.
The Game Awards.
The Game
The
Awards.
game.
The
It's
game.
just an
award.
It's
A Game
Award.
You play as John
Thanks for
Awards.
voting.
It's John Award.
All right, are we all getting out our phones? to
So
look at
what
the
we're
thing?
all
so
getting out our
there's
phones.
a ton of categories. The only one that we're actually going to specifically talk about and actually have a graphic for is Game of the Year. Lillian Q Game of the Year graphic.
Da-da-da-da.
So we'll talk about the Game of the Year award specifically, and then after that, we'll kind of just like if there's a category that someone wants to talk about, we'll go for it. We won't have graphics for it because we weren't sure what.
Well, I thought we were gonna go through and vote for all of
Well,
them.
We don't really have time for that.
But what if we did?
There's a lot of awards.
We can be fairly quick.
Yeah,
on
what if we're-
most
what
of
if
them.
we're-
We
what
don't
if
need
we
to
are
discuss every
speedy
single
But
game.
anyways, Game of the Year is the only
Game
one.
of the War.
Game of the
Game-
Award.
Game of
the
the
Game
Awards.
of the Awards.
I'm voting right now.
Is the one that we wanted to discuss actually. So are we all in general agreement that Baldur's Gate's probably going to win this?
Baldur's
I'm
Gate
voting
will
for
probably
Baldur's Gate.
win.
I will be
It's
voting for
probably
Baldur's Gate.
going to. I'm going to put my vote towards Tears of the Kingdom because that's
Called
the
it.
game I've played.
Yeah,
and also
same.
just like I freaking love Tears of the Kingdom. But at the same time, I'm guessing Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win just because of the insane impact it's had on everything gaming
Yeah,
related.
it's
Yeah.
like if Baldur's Gate doesn't win, I will be surprised.
I will say we do have.
Isn't that crazy how, like,
A game that came out of nowhere
Mhm.
is probably
for
gonna
so
win
long
it.
we've been like, oh, when Tears of the
Tears
Kingdom
of the
comes
Kingdom.
out,
When
When
like
Tears of the
Jedi,
Kingdom
complete
sweeps.
well, it's like
sweep.
Jedi Survivor isn't even up here.
Survivor's not even
Hogwarts
on.
Legacy isn't up
Hogwarts
here.
Legacy isn't even
Starfield's not up
Yeah.
here.
I mean, this year has
Yeah,
been
most of the.
absolutely incredible in terms of like any other year.
Yeah, but Resident Evil guy.
any other year, any of
I
these
mean,
games would
last-
have won.
Well, except for maybe last year,
Yeah.
because last year had
Or
some pretty stiff competition too.
2018 was. I think we haven't seen competition this stiff since 2018. 2018 was. When
I don't
the
know.
first
Last year
Spider-Man
we had
game came out,
Ragnarok
God of
and
War.
you had
You had Elden Ring, and, but I
Ragnarok,
feel like
but-
that was really it. It
it
was
was a
it was
two-horse
like
race.
it was a two-horse race. It was either God of
then-
War Ragnarok or Elden Ring.
and
that
Elden
won.
Ring, and
yeah,
then
but then you
occasionally
had
Stray
original
coming
God
in
of
and sweeping a
War,
few
and you
things.
had Resident, not
2018
Resident,
was pretty good.
right?
2018 had the
What's the
original
cowboy
Spider-Man
game?
game, Red Dead Redemption 2,
Red Dead
God of
Redemption.
War 2018. I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey was also
Yeah,
on
it
there,
was a
yeah,
good
but
that
year.
was.
like, I mean, and then there was, and then I think it was Celeste.
It
was
may
the
have
other
been
Oh yeah,
one that was
Celeste.
indie game
Wasn't that
right
the
there.
indie game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
No,
that
no.
that was a stacked year.
Yeah,
that was a stacked
like
year.
if another game that isn't Baldur's Gate won it, it's probably going to be Tears of the Kingdom. If
It would
one
be.
of the others win, I will be.
I'd be very
I will.
surprised.
I would be very.
Very shocked.
I would be very
Not to say-
suspicious of the voting
yeah.
process.
Not to say anything of these other games, like all of them are stellar,
All of these would win.
so really
in
good.
many other
But
years.
Baldur's
But like
Gate
Baldur's
is
Gate,
kinda
I
just-
feel like it's going to have the biggest impact. Tears of the Kingdom is, I would say, a close second.
I'd
Yeah.
say it's a not close second. I think Baldur's Gate, because the
Well-
problem is Nintendo has two IPs up there now, And
Well,
so
that's 'cause
Nintendo
Nintendo
fans are gonna
was
be like,
just
oh,
awesome.
but
They're
and
gonna
if
be
they
split.
played both, they're like, do I vote for Mario? Whereas Baldur's Gate's like, it is the only RPG up there. Well, like the
Of
only
its
like
kind,
the
yeah.
only like you RPG, because Legend of Zelda is an RPG, but you play as Link.
Yeah, that's
Link.
true.
Whereas Baldur's Gate's like you play as
custom
whatever you
character.
want. So
Very true,
Baldur's
very
Gate,
true.
I think
So,
it kind of.
should we vote?
I mean, I
voted
just
Baldur's
cast
Gate.
my vote.
I'm
for-
voting
Oh, you're voting
Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't
Yeah.
played Baldur's Gate, bro.
I haven't either, but
Hey,
I just
Gar-
know that
yeah, I
Baldur's
feel like
Gate's
it's
had more of an
mostly-
impact.
Yeah. At this point, it's mostly dishonest for me to vote Baldur's Gate if I haven't played it, but I have
I
played
haven't
Tears of
played
the
I
any
will
of
Kingdom,
them.
definitely
Tears of
vote
the
for
Kingdom
games
and
that I
love
have not
haven't
played later. But
any
Oh
of
yeah,
these
later.
games.
Yeah, neither
But
have
on
I.
this
But based
one,
on the
I wanna
playthroughs
vote
I've
for the one that I
seen-
played.
Okay,
Yeah.
so moving on to the, we're just gonna go quick votes. So best game direction. Oh, who would have thought? It's
Wait,
like the exact
the next
same
one's
games.
best narrative.
I got
No, best game direction.
Bro skipped an entire
Am I
category.
bad at this
You
game?
skipped the whole
Yeah.
category.
And it's hilarious
Oh,
how
you're
the,
right, okay.
the best game direction
Well, it was
is
like
all
this.
of these
It's
except
like
for
a-
Resident Evil.
It's like this
Yeah,
every
only.
year. The game of the year candidates are nominated for like 8 categories. So
Yeah.
best game direction. This is where I'm gonna go. Tears of the Kingdom.
Awarded for outstanding
Creative vision and innovation in game
direction.
Yeah, that, I mean,
I'm
that's
gonna
gotta
go
be
Tears of the
Tears.
Kingdom.
I'm actually voting for Spider-Man.
That's a good
I mean,
call
honestly,
out.
I really
do
like the
feel
game
like
direction for Spider-Man.
There was a part of me that actually considered Baldur's Gate 3 for just how immaculately it translated the D&D mechanics and aesthetic into
yeah,
a
but
video
wouldn't
game
that
form
be
better than anyone else
Yeah, no,
has.
that because that is
Yeah.
game design.
Which is
yeah.
incredibly innovative in game design. Now,
I
don't
think
get me wrong.
any of them could
Legend
win.
of
That's
Zelda,
not Mario.
Tears of the Kingdom is also incredibly innovative game design, but it was still building on the amazing foundation that Breath of the Wild.
The Breath of the
laid.
Wild.
I
Like, but I
think-
feel like the way that they amplified everything that Breath of the Wild did in such a creative way is what
It's true.
makes
It's,
Tears of
it's
the
like
Kingdom for me.
the masterclass and sequel.
I think any
Yeah.
of them could,
Sequel.
either of those could win it. The next one's best narrative.
Spider-Man 2 for me. I love Spider-Man 2's
I think so
story.
as well because Tears of the Kingdom is not for this category, which is really weird.
No, which
It's
totally
weird
makes
because-
sense.
What do
Tears
you
of the
mean?
Kingdom-
Legend of
Tears
Zelda
of
has
the
never been
Kingdom-
good at narrative.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom story is not its selling point.
Okay, anyway,
Like,
so
it's
yeah,
still
I'm
way
going
good,
Spider-Man.
though.
Okay,
I'm doing Baldur's Gate for story.
next is best art direction, and this is when we start getting some. I mean, the last one we started had some new ones in there. I think.
Alan Wake
Aiden's
2,
had his
Hi-Fi
speed
Rush,
run.
Lies of
Well,
Peace,
yeah, I
Super
mean,
Mario
we-
Bros.
that's
Wonder,
fine.
and
Okay,
Tears of the
okay.
Kingdom. I'm
So,
doing Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm
for
not gonna
art
do Tears of the
direction.
Kingdom because we already had the whole art thing with Breath of the Wild. I really like Hi-Fi Rush's style.
Hi-Fi Rush is
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
I honestly, I'm gonna break the grain here. I'm gonna go Super Mario Wonder. I love
know,
the new direction
like
that
the
they've
new direction
taken.
of
That
Mario.
they've taken
I feel like Mario is
I
looking
think
the
it's pretty
same.
good.
The
for
Piranha
the last-
Parade, the Piranha Plant
Yeah.
Parade just won it
I
for me.
love the new art
You know,
style.
I'm
of
gonna go with the
Mario.
wild card. And I'm gonna go with Hi-Fi Rush because it's just like it was a very different.
Kind of came
Oh,
out of
it's-
nowhere as well, but it was quite.
I
It's a very
love the style.
different kind of game. Next one is best score
Best
in
score.
music.
I'm just gonna give it to Tears because
I
I don't
Baldur's
really know
Gate.
any of the
Doing
other.
Tears.
I feel like Tears is a safe bet on that one.
you doing
Listen to the
Baldur's
Baldur's Gate
Yeah,
soundtrack.
Baldur's Gate, I'm sure,
well,
is
I feel like Baldur's
fantastic.
Gate could do. Okay, best audio design.
Best
Ooh.
audio design. Ooh, tricky.
I feel like you could give it to Spider-Man.
I'm actually gonna
Yeah,
give this
'cause
one
this is
to a
like-
game I have not played,
Dead
but
Space?
have not listened to, but have watched things about it. Dead Space.
I
So
thought-
much
I
of
thought
Dead
Space-
Space's
No.
game.
You know,
Dead Space
I think I might
has
do that too.
crazy.
That
I
so
mean, I
much
agree
of
with
Dead
you, I agree with
Space's
you.
like atmosphere is made by its sound design.
I agree
That's
with
true.
Dead Space.
Especially if you're doing like scary games, you need,
You need
good sound design. Otherwise, it sucks. And so
Okay,
to have something
here's
that
the
really
fun
stands
one.
out.
Best
This would be
performance.
crazy.
I think Idris Elba did a fantastic job.
I've always liked
in
Idris
Phantom
Elba.
Liberty.
If Yuri Lowenthal, who's the voice of Peter Parker in Spider-Man,
Oh,
if
he
he doesn't
is.
win this, I will throw
Really?
something at.
But
at
what do you
Geoff
mean?
Keighley
He
himself.
sounds just like Matt Pat when he yells.
He gets up to receive his award. He pulls off his mask to reveal Matt Pat.
It was me, Barry.
But
That's
also,
just
but
a
Cameron did a
voiceover.
really good job
man,
as,
he did.
as well.
Yeah.
He did,
I
but
think I'll vote for Idris Elba just because I
Yuri-
like
I
everything
like
he does.
Idris Elba's.
Yuri killed it, knocked it out of the park.
I
with Spider-Man
totally
2.
forgot. Diablo 4 also came out this year.
Yeah,
Dude,
Diablo
this what
4
a
was also this
crazy year.
Oh, okay,
This was.
next one is innovation and
Accessibility.
accessibility.
Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2,
I'm
Mortal
giving this
Kombat
one to
1, and
Spider-Man
Street
2 as
Fighter
well,
I think
actually.
Spider-Man 2 did
I'll
have
do
a
It had
lot
some
of accessibility
crazy
options on it.
accessibility
Spider-Man.
options.
I think
What
we're
are
all in
we-
agreement
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I want
Spider-Man.
pictures of
Okay,
Spider-Man.
games for impact, pro-social message. I don't know any of
there. A
these.
Space for the Unbound, Chance of Senar, Goodbye Volcano High, Tchia.
I'm not
Terra Nil,
even
and
sure. So
Venba.
just
Mine
pick
skipped
one.
one again.
I think
already.
I've seen posts online about Goodbye Volcano High, but I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I would just pick
I'm
one.
gonna-
Impact.
probably move on
You don't run ahead of
to a
us,
space.
Court.
I wasn't trying to.
Okay, so best ongoing.
Best
so
ongoing.
What's really funny is that Cyberpunk is listed on best ongoing when
Yeah,
it's
which
done.
is for
It's not
DLC.
getting just for Phantom Liberty.
Just for the
Yeah.
DLC, which
So-
seemed
I
goofy.
don't
Yeah.
think if you vote for
Let's-
Cyberpunk, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's a
All
bit
right,
disingenuous.
So-
here is the Fortnite is on here and Genshin Impact is on here. So me and Kyle will now fight to the death in ritualistic combat.
Okay, so Fortnite this year, outside of expansions and reverting to Island 1, did anything like serious happen in Fortnite?
I mean, that was pretty serious.
Well, yeah, but Fortnite, Genshin had a whole.
Genshin had an entire new region drop with
region
some of the
drop.
best story, like Encore, or some people even say
I
better
think
than the
Genshin-
previous Sumeru
Genshin
story,
had
which people
more-
were already saying was the best.
Genshin had more depth to its new content.
Genshin is
I
absolutely
think
bonkers
Fortnite,
with what they put out
has
this
kind
year.
of run its course of like you know what you're getting with Fortnite. It's like new
Yeah.
battle
I
pass
mean,
And,
Fortnite.
like,
Hold your
the way
breath
that
on that
Genshin
because the stuff
continually
they've got in the
reinvents
pipeline
itself.
is going to be
Yeah, but it's not
pretty
out
crazy.
yet.
It's not out yet, but it'll come out
it's
this
for
year.
It's for what's
Yeah, it's not-
happened
it's
up
already
until
happened.
now.
That's fair.
You can't be like, but in the future.
I
the
still-
future.
No, but still, this new update has been crazy.
I'm
I'm
gonna
voting
go
Fortnite.
Genshin.
I'm going
Fortnite.
Genshin.
Okay, so we're split.
Dude,
split.
come on.
I'm going Genshin.
I
I'm
got
just
it.
giving
I
it
got
way
into-
more
I got
to
into
its-
Fortnite this year.
And,
What
like,
do I
we're not
say?
even touching on Apex Legends or Final
Yeah, the rest of
Fantasy.
them just wrapped.
Okay,
So okay,
best-
so
category.
this one is actually causing some stir because it's best community
community
support,
support?
and Destiny 2 was
It's-
nominated literally
Yeah,
days
Destiny
after they
2
fired like their
fired, like,
entire
everybody.
community support
Yes,
team.
that was
So
really
don't vote
bad
for
timing.
Destiny.
Don't vote for Destiny
So
2.
I'm
They do
thinking,
not deserve
I'm
it.
feeling Cyberpunk on this one. I
Cyberpunk,
feel like the
Baldur's
resurgence
Gate.
that
I'm-
Cyberpunk had.
I'm
Final
voting
Fantasy
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is
No
also a
Man's
good
No
Sky
Man's Sky is really
did a
strong in this one.
lot
I
of
just feel
comeback
like
work.
but I feel like I'm gonna go Cyberpunk
doing
because
so much.
Cyberpunk's redemption arc this year was kind of crazy.
It was crazy,
Yeah,
that's
that
for
was one of the
sure.
most wild redemption
But No
arcs.
Man's Sky has had a long,
No Man's Skies has been
redemption,
coming up, but
and
I'm
it's
talking
still-
specifically this year.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's true.
All right, now we're going to the indie games.
But,
I know none of these, so
might do Baldur's
Yeah,
Gate.
I don't know.
indie
Viewfinder
games?
is insane. Y'all should
Oh.
check it out.
Viewfinder? All right, then I'm
I'm
voting for
gonna go off of
Viewfinder.
Ben's,
I'm gonna actually vote for Sea of Stars because I've been
is that
like
the
looking
Sea of
forward.
Thieves
Sea of
space?
Thieves?
No, it's
spin-off?
nothing like it. But I've been looking forward to this game for a long
now we
time,
have the
and I'm just
best
waiting for a
indie
chance to
game
buy it.
debut.
I'm voting Viewfinder again because
Now, what's funny wasn't Baldur's
Tell me about
Gate
Viewfinder.
made by a company that like had not really ever released a game before?
No,
I don't think so.
It's Baldur's Gate 3, dude.
Well, no, but like no one really remembered the first.
The
two.
first two? Well, I'll put it this way. Larian Studios had its own, like, pretty dedicated following for a while. They kind of
I
exploded
guess it's
into the
debut
limelight
indie
this
game.
year.
Sorry,
But yeah, this is debut, so they've made
I'm
other
gonna go
games.
Viewfinder again.
Do y'all
I'm quite curious.
what's-
Oh, I think I've seen the trailers for Viewfinder. I'll do that.
What's that one game where you pick up objects and based on your perspective you can change the size of it?
Oh, Marquette.
Marquette.
Mark. That's not it. That's not the one I'm thinking of.
Okay. Should we move on to best mobile game?
Best mobile
I
game.
think I did that was a lot.
Okay, so
Look
I
it
am
up, 'cause I'm curious, I
100%
wanna play
Yeah,
that.
you're
putting
gonna
my
go
vote in for
Star Rail.
Honkai Star Rail.
I don't really know.
That is the game I've been
any
playing
of the
the
others.
most.
Like I
for-
haven't heard much about any other game
Okay,
other than Star
I'll put it
Rail.
this way, right? Star Rail is like a space opera, but like imagine it this way. I'll make this comparison, right? Okay, DreamWorks makes both Prince of Egypt and Shrek
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Both fantastic, amazing movies. Okay, now we do Hoyoverse, right? They make Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. Genshin Impact is like their Prince of Egypt. It's a more serious story. It's epic. It's beautiful. It's emotional. And then you have Honkai Star Rail, which is kind of like their Shrek, where you can have an epic story and still be an absolute agent of chaos the whole way through, and I am here for it.
I just haven't heard.
There's an
anything about the
achievement
other
you get
games.
for investigating enough trash cans.
I didn't even know Monster Hunter had a mobile
I
game
will
this
say
year.
all that sounds really.
Superliminal is the game.
Superlim- oh,
I was
okay,
thinking
I
of.
Oh, okay. Superliminal. That one's
It's
cool.
so
here comes-
Viewfinder is basically you have pictures of stuff and you use your perspective and you can
Oh,
take that
right.
picture and you can place what's in that picture in
Right.
the
I
environment
remember seeing
around
trailers
you.
for that one. I thought
yes,
it
that
really
was cool. That was very cool.
I will
Oh,
say all
Court's
this
gonna
talk
be
about
like,
the
but.
mobile games is really cool, and Hawkeye Star Rail
He's
looks
gonna
great,
go,
but
Don't.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Oh gosh.
I'm just kidding. I've
No.
never
The
played it. I
second
didn't even know it
highest
was.
grossing IP in the world.
I'm gonna go Honkai Star
Oh, yeah,
Rail
Honkai
because I
Star
feel
Rail.
bad for
It
not
also
voting
has
for
an
Genshin.
absolute banger
I mean,
of
I
a
don't,
soundtrack.
but-
It should be.
But I gotta
fine.
balance it
I
out.
don't imagine. All right, best AR VR.
Best AR VR. You know how many people are going to go for Resident Evil just because they can now make
Because
it
of the
seem like they're getting
lady.
stepped on by Lady Dimitrescu?
Excuse me?
Yeah,
The
not
Simps
me.
online
not me.
are the craziest people over
Definitely
that
not.
character.
Just kidding.
I-
I've never played
Those
Resident
people
I
are
think
bonkers.
I probably will as well. I didn't even know Gran Turismo had a VR AR version.
Evil. That makes sense though.
How was Horizon Call of the Mountain? Does anyone know how well
I haven't
that
played it.
was?
I liked the Horizon
Played
one though.
it.
I haven't played Forbidden West yet.
Best action game.
Oh, this one's got to go. I have not played any of these, but this one's. Have you guys seen Video Game Donkey's
Yes.
video on Armored Core 6?
Yes, I have.
I was
For that
thinking
video
about
alone, I
Armored
will
Core.
vote on
Well, it's a
Armored
From
Core
Software
6.
It's
game,
from
like-
software as well, so I just kind of wanted to show support to the geniuses
That's
behind Elden
fair.
Ring for doing their.
Yep. Best.
like,
Okay,
next-
now best action adventure.
Action
wa-
adventure.
I want to vote for Jedi Survivor just because it wasn't nominated anywhere else.
Yeah, but Spider-Man-
but Spider-Man and Tears of the Kingdom are on here.
both
I
on
mean, I gotta vote for Tears of the
I'm
Kingdom.
voting for
Tears of the
Star Wars
Kingdom.
because I liked that game.
I
I'm
haven't
sure
played
Jedi
Survivor yet.
You know what?
actually.
I'll give this shout
Wait,
out
have you
vote to
played
Star
Survivor?
Wars as well.
Have you played Survivor?
I played
Fallen
Fallen Order.
I played
Best
Fallen Order.
RPG. Well,
Best
okay, so
RPG.
Starfield is nominated for this one, but I feel
Yeah,
like Baldur's
and
Gate.
But Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
is still
Gate.
Baldur's Gate is still
inherently
just
the better
inherently
game.
the better
Sorry,
game.
guys, but yeah.
What's funny is I saw something. Microsoft, a game from Microsoft, like one of their studios, has never won Game of the Year.
Correct.
In
Poor
the 10
guys.
years that this thing, it is like it's been like 10 years. It's so long.
Had Halo 3 already come out by that point? Because it might have been a good
Halo
strong
3 was
contender.
2009.
Yeah, so I
2010,
feel like-
and Game Awards didn't
Start
start until
until-
2000.
I feel like
I
any
feel
of the
like
original Halo
the early
trilogy
Halo
would've-
games
Halo
probably
2 would have
would-
swept.
Yeah.
Halo 2, heck, even Halo
Reach
Reach
would've
probably
swept.
would have done
Yeah.
really good, but it was.
All right, best fighting. Any Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl fans?
That's what I was thinking of
I was
going
tempted
for.
of just voting that for fun.
I'm voting for that because
I'm
Garfield.
gonna vote for it for fun. I think that's a fun one.
Although
It's got
I
Aang in
did
it,
play a
so I'm
demo of
voting.
Street Fighter
I
6.
know Street Fighter 6 is really
and it
good.
was really good. It was a lot of fun.
Best family game. Oh, there's your Super Mario Bros.
Party
Wonder.
Animals.
Here's Super Mario Bros.
There's
Wonder.
your Super Mario
Yeah, I'm
Bros.
There
putting
we
Mario
go. That's
Bros.
probably
Wonder.
gonna take.
Although
this
I've heard
category.
Pikmin 4 is
Party
pretty good.
Party Animals is so good.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
there's another
That's
there's another
true.
one that Pikmin 4 will win, and it's this one.
Oh, the best
Oh,
sim strategy.
best sim or
I've heard
strategy. Pikmin 4
is
True,
quite
Pikmin
good.
4.
Fire Emblem Engage,
City
toothpaste
Skylines, I
looking
like that game.
individuals.
Skylines, you like that
Oh
game
my
too?
goodness. Advance Wars is neat.
All right,
but
best
yeah.
sports racing. Any Hot Wheels fans?
Wait, should we
oh my
should we
goodness.
debate whether toothpaste or Pikmin 4
I'm
should
Pikmin
win?
4.
Pikmin
I've
4.
seen more from
Engage.
Pikmin 4. So.
I
Da,
love
da,
Pikmin, so
da.
Pikmin
I have
4 gets
not
my
played
vote.
Max
Engage.
Verstappen.
dude.
Let's see.
Best sports or racing?
No one had better vote for EA Sports FC 24. What the
No.
heck? No.
Well, I mean, if you're a big FIFA fan,
I'm going Hot Wheels
If you're a
Unleashed
big
2
FIFA fan, you need a
turbocharged
different hobby,
because
in
I like
my
Hot
opinion.
Wheels sometimes.
I'm feeling
Hot Wheels
Forza.
are cool.
Probably
Forza.
just because Forza has been like it's
I
just
do
been,
Hot Wheels just
I'm
for
doing
the
Forza,
fun,
but
chaotic
I think
energy of
Hot Wheels. Unless you like Max Verstappen, in which case do Formula One. Is that what you did, Ben? Did you do?
No,
Okay.
I voted for Hot Wheels.
All right, best multiplayer.
multiplayer,
Here's
Baldur's
your
Gate.
Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Okay, because like Super Mario Bros. Wonder is
Diablo 4 is
great.
good, but,
Diablo
like-
4 is
But the
fun,
fact that you can
but
just sit a bunch of people down on a single device and
Yeah.
have them take turns playing Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate
Gate
3,
3 exactly.
incredible.
Baldur's Gate with friends is I've
best
seen footage of that. That's
adaptation.
amazing.
Oh, okay. So
What
Here
the
we
freak
go.
is Anthony Mackie doing on this? What is this?
Oh, yeah,
Twisted
he
Metal?
did
And
a-
they don't have the FNAF movie
well, I
on
think
here.
because FNAF came after the nomination.
Yeah, after
Oh,
the
is after the
nomination
So
nomination.
period.
FNAF will probably
Okay.
be nominated for next year.
It'll be on
It-
the
it
next
might
time.
swing
I
next
personally, I really liked The Last of Us.
I
thought
really
that
did
was
like The
really
Last
good
of
as
Us.
well. I think The Last of Us is literally like just shot for shot an adaptation of the game.
It is pretty darn
It
close.
really doesn't get any better of an
Yeah.
adaptation
I'm
than literally.
still
just the
gonna
game.
give this one to Mario.
You're gonna
though,
give it to Mario?
because
Mario was
Mario
really
was
good.
groundbreaking, and I really liked it. It was-
Groundbreaking.
I had a
Well,
lot of
Wasn't
fun.
It was groundbreaking
Brandon-
in showing that video game
Peaches
movies
song.
could be good. You know.
Yeah. And the Peaches song is probably why I'm going to vote for Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Although I
But
will say, I
do
really
appreciate
did
Gran
like The
Turismo.
Last of Us and Gran Turismo. I've
Most
heard was pretty good.
anticipated game. All right, so these are the games for the future. Star Wars
Yes.
Outlaws.
Star Wars
Oof.
Outlaws
really-
will not be good, and I am almost 100%
Really?
sure of it.
Really?
But I really hope that it is, and
Okay.
so I'm
I
going
hope that you're
to.
wrong.
I was like, Court, what? So you're
You're like,
not
I have no faith
anticipating
in
it?
this game.
I have
Prove me
no
wrong,
faith
please.
in this game, but
But
I
I
really
really
want
hope-
it to be good. So
I
I'm
think,
going to vote for
I
Star
think
Wars.
Hades 2 would actually
Hades
be the
2 is
most
gonna win
anticipated.
this.
I'm
I'm
actually-
Hades 2
I'm
is gonna
anticipating
win.
Outlaws
I'm excited for
because it's
Hades
gonna-
2 as
there's,
well.
like, not a
I
Star Wars
think
game
there's
like
also
it.
probably going to be a lot for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I think Hades 2 will be the most
I
anticipated.
went for
2 is
Star
gonna
Wars.
win.
Just because Hades just
I think.
so revitalized.
Content
roguelikes.
creator of the year, I'm going Iron Mouse.
That cracked me up to see Iron Mouse on
I'm
there.
going
That
Iron
was
Mouse.
so
I'm
Is
funny.
she one of those VTubers?
She's a VTuber.
She's like one of
That made me
the-
sound
one of the
so
biggest
old.
VTubers.
Is she one of those fancy VTubers?
Yeah.
I'm going
It's
Iron Mouse.
hilarious.
I
Looks
love
like
Iron
anime
Mouse.
to me, though.
What's
to be
really
honest, so I'm
funny
voting.
is when you have Iron Mouse on with someone who's not a VTuber, and she's just spending the entire time roasting them.
Yeah.
I've seen these clips. They're
All right, Court, you vote
hilarious.
for. I mean, you don't know any of these.
I know
people.
none of these. I
At
know
the
that
same
Cypher
time-
PK is a Fortnite skin, so I'm gonna vote for him.
Ah,
But
the
at the same
Fortnite.
time, people make games. I feel like is cool because they were people who've done some pretty important like documenting of stuff happening in the game industry, and they
Yeah.
really dig in.
That that
Their
is
documentaries are
actually-
I
like
just
really
went
powerful.
Iron
Yeah.
Iron Mouse is fun
I
for
like
chaotic
Shin
energy,
Baggy
but
and-
I don't know who to vote for. Like,
That was an easy vote for me.
yeah.
Ooh, best
esports
esports
I
game.
feel like
you
it has to
already
go to
know.
League. It has
I'm
to go
voting
to
for
League.
League because
Like, I
Ben.
feel like it has
because
to.
Ben.
Didn't Valorant win last year
Valorant
though?
won last year.
But
Cringe.
Valorant had a good year last
Just
year.
right games just makes good.
I think
esports.
League. I think
This-
League just.
yeah.
I think League should just win.
There's a
that
part of
one.
me that wants to just for the lulz do Counter Strike 2, even though I don't know how
Unless
many
you're
people are even playing
European,
it.
nobody plays CS:GO. I'm sorry, and I'll say it now. Unless you're European and,
And
suck
also-
at League.
Also, all the things that happened with CS:GO,
Yeah.
CS2 this year.
Yeah.
All right, best esports athlete. I feel like
do
if you
League.
don't vote Faker,
Wait,
I
what
think you're
happened
just
with-
like wrong. Oh, wait, yeah,
Speaking of
CS:GO
Faker,
Yeah, tell us about Faker.
so let's see, in about
Yeah,
12
he's
hours
in the
from
World's
now,
Grand Finals.
the League of
Isn't he
Legends
going
World
for his
Championship
seventh?
Grand Final he's going for his 4th.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I'm gonna vote
Um,
Faker because he looks like a Giga Chad.
Yeah,
dude.
Faker. Well, it
Such
was
a
crazy.
good
So
chat
the
picture.
video, the hype video was it between for the JDG T1 game.
Mm-hmm.
So like they did a video, like they made, and Faker had a line like at like the best player on JDG, and he was like, "All roads to the final, all roads lead to me." Like Faker is like the god of League of Legends.
Nice.
So
He's like the Tom Brady of
Mm-hmm.
League.
Of League.
Oh
in-
man.
in this final, it is Weibo Gaming, which is the Chinese 4th seed,
Yeah, like the last team from China going up against
going
Faker.
against T1 and Faker. But I mean, come on, guys, it's a shoe, and there's no way Faker could lose against a 4th seed in the finals.
We've had some pretty crazy upsets before.
Well, after last year,
That's exactly
just-
what
it's just
happened last year.
Bum, bum,
Exactly.
ba-dum.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'm going Faker. Faker's just
Or
a
the
god.
Faker's cool. Yeah.
All right, best
He has the best
esports
profile
team.
pic, too.
Now, what's funny is that T1 is not up for best esports team.
It's like best esports team.
I feel like at that
Faker,
point you go
mean,
JD
what?
Gaming because JDG won
Fnatic.
like mid-season.
T1 freaking smacked them in the semifinals, dude. So
T1
much for the Golden Road.
Like T1 should be nominated for best esports team, but they're not. But
Kind of
JD, I think JDG is the next best.
People who
I
know
hate
esports,
Fanbud
tell me what to
JDG
do
though.
and
Just
what
do
to think.
JD. If
Okay.
FaZe Clan was nominated, I would
FaZe
say
Clan.
FaZe, because FaZe has won like almost everything in CS:GO and Halo this year. It's been actually incredible. But JDG, yeah, they were en route to having like the perfect year, and then T1 said, "No, you don't."
No,
Best esports
No.
coach. Okay, I'm gonna go for Gunba just because it's Overwatch League, and he had no. I mean,
The
he
Florida
took,
Mayhem.
He took a budget team and beat a bunch of like super teams. So,
Okay, that is impressive.
so I but
I'll go Gumba. He looks
he's
like
Australian.
a cool guy.
He's an Aussie.
Oh, he's an
Aussie,
Aussie.
Aussie, Aussie.
Aussie, Aussie,
Oi,
Aussie.
oi,
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 Aussie.
oi. And he's got a
Oh,
nice
I-
beard. Best esports event. I feel like you go with World. Although the international this year was crazy.
Really? How so?
Oh, well, it's just like every year they get. I mean, it had like a $3 million prize. Like no other esports like event has bigger prize pools than the
In
international.
Dota. Because Dota is just bankrolled by Steam.
It's just
who's
bankrolled
like
by Steam.
bankrolled by anyone
It
who plays
has
a video game
infinite-
ever.
Like, the international is just infinite money for prize pools, and it only happens. It's the only Dota 2 like big event every year.
That's true.
But I feel like I feel like you can give it to Worlds or you give it to the international. Both work.
What do you
I
think,
gave it to
Ben?
Worlds.
Ben would give it to Worlds.
I voted for Worlds 100%.
Worlds is
It's
also a
such good
longer
world.
event.
Mhm.
It goes for like a whole month and a half.
I think that's all of them.
that
Wait,
everything?
no.
Yeah, mine crashed.
Mine said
4-4, you've
4-4,
reached the
Oh,
edge.
you've reached the edge. All right, edge has been reached.
Okay, that's everything.
So those are our votes. December 7th at I think 7:30 Eastern, 5:30 Mountain. There we will be co-streaming again. I won't be there because of my freaking
He's
work and class
lame.
schedule. So Lillian
Yeah.
will probably fill in for me. It'll be in the
But-
same place.
Oh,
same as before.
and there's another thing we forgot to mention. You can do some voting in Fortnite. Yeah,
I
get
actually
this.
I actually did play this. It's a
Yeah, so
you
explain
can.
it for us.
it's basically the Game Awards teamed up with Fortnite and they took the 10 best like creative modes, like user made creative
and are
modes.
they voting?
And they're like all like portals to them are all in this like user made place. So you can go and test them out and then come back and anyway, and you can vote and then they'll announce like the winner. Anyway, but it's cool like the Game
cool
Awards like world that you're in, you know? The Game Awards like world that you're in Fortnite has like many games that you can play inside of this world that has like can get you XP and it's kind of fun and then you
Will
can
a 1,000
and
foot
try-
tall Travis Scott reveal the
There is a
winners?
huge Game Awards statue that It's a cool experience. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it is a good way to find some fun, creative games to play.
There you go. If you
So
play
that's
Fortnite,
cool.
You need to play the one that we found with us. It's fun.
Ben's like, what?
No.
But this time, I don't think it was so funny because last year we had the guy that came. I'd like to thank my man, Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
I saw a tweet where it was like Jeff Knightley. It was like an incorrect, incorrect quote, kind of like Jeff Knightley on the Game Awards. We have Navy SEALs trained, looking at the stage of all times. Nobody will crash it this year.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if someone else manages to pull,
Pull it
that
off
this year. Just like if it becomes a tradition at the Game
I still think
Awards.
it's so funny that kid literally just that dude literally he just walked up and nobody questioned him because everyone thought that he was with someone else. And so then he just went up and he was like,
They started talking and everyone's like, wait a minute,
like,
get
what
this
is
guy
Even
out
the
of here.
devs
Did
just
you
kind of got out of the
cook
way, let him take the mic, and we're like, okay, kid's got something to say.
Yeah, but we will co-stream it just like we did last year. Probably be a very similar setup, although one of them will be running production. So
we'll see.
good luck.
I think
It's stuck in my head.
I think Lillian's gonna be all right at production, right?
Well, Corey, they'll probably be using your computer because it's in your house.
No, my precious PC.
Well, no one has a powerful enough laptop.
How much RAM do you got?
Yeah.
10.
Download more.
I have no idea.
Download more RAM.
How much dedicated
How
RAM?
much dedicated wham do I need to run my esport or not my
Minecraft server.
my Game Awards live stream?
So that was the Game Awards. If you disagree with any of the votes, if you really feel like Spider-Man should win Game of the Year,
Then
Or,
stage a complicated assassination plot against us for
Maybe just court.
maybe just
maybe just me. If you disagree with any of my, that makes me sound
just a red dot.
Bye, court.
Bye, Court.
You
should have voted for
Starfield.
Give me flashbacks to the clip, the hiring mercenaries.
We've got
clip.
good news and bad news. Bad news is Court's no longer with us. Good news is we have an opening. So that's the Game Awards. So now we move on to an email that I didn't know was possible. We got an email from Not Scott.
Not Scott.
We got an email from Tristan Hodgins, who's actually the
Yes.
Minecraft
The
Club
Minecraft-
president. Fun
Which
fact.
I didn't
Which
know
is
that we had a
awesome.
Minecraft club, and I want to join it now. a
Well,
lot.
Tristan
You
hit up
didn't know we
Court.
had a Minecraft club?
Dude, I don't know anything about BYU.
You went here for how many years?
5 years.
No, I mean you're no longer a student, so you're no longer
Don't-
allowed to join clubs.
Don't tell them that; they'll kick me off the podcast.
They don't have that power. I have that power. But if you have a beard and your name is Kyle, then they can kick you off the podcast.
It's it's okay. Hey,
For reasons of my own well-being, no comment.
So
yeah,
Tristan sent us an email. The subject line of it: gateway games for my wife? Question mark. So he goes, "Hey y'all, I'm Tristan and I'm a gamer." Well, you wouldn't be emailing us if you weren't.
And you wouldn't be the Minecraft club president if
I
you weren't.
spend probably an unhealthy amount of time playing video games, but it's my hobby and relaxant. Well, welcome to the club. I attribute my video game skills to increased problem solving, which is useful in computer engineering majors. Which, true. I feel like a lot of people can
Very
relate
true.
to that. Not
Very
me, 'cause I'm
much.
not a computer engineer major, but
Well, hold on. I'd like to just make a quick comment. So remember that class where I made that paper about the Doom Crossing meme?
yeah.
I'm writing another paper about research and news media on video games. And one of the things I'm putting out in that paper is that there is research
Among
on
Us.
this, but there's not nearly enough on skills developed through playing video games. And I use an example. Like, I feel like my ability when I go to a new place to build a mental 3D map of that place and then navigate it pretty quickly has been largely enhanced due to mining in Minecraft in those twisty turny Minecraft
there you
cave
go.
I mean, for me,
systems.
I mean, I
Justification.
definitely like after playing Doom Eternal, my skills in
In slaughtering
random
demons.
bursts of violence.
Okay.
No.
Massively.
Do not give the news companies any more fodder for their crap reporting on video games.
He goes, after playing Doom, I found my skills as being violent.
No. But like in all seriousness, there are definitely cognitive skills that can
for sure.
develop.
Problem
through
solving,
video
puzzle
games.
solving.
Puzzle solving,
Yeah.
Navigating 3D spaces. But anyway, continue with the email.
So, yeah. So then Tristan said, my favorite games these days are Minecraft, I'm actually the president of Minecraft Club. Yeah, if you were the president of a gaming club, and then you're like, but I hate this game, I would feel mildly concerned for you. But he says, I've also been on a No Man's Sky kick recently, and then I love your podcast and your points and view on the news and this gaming culture we love. Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that.
Yes, very much.
He
From
goes,
the bottom of our
anyways,
hearts.
the reason I emailed you.
Here we go.
I love my wife with all my heart, and we share many interests. However, video games is not one of those shared interests. First of all, that's tough.
That is rough.
That is unfortunate. So, as you know, he came to some maybe not the best people for the job.
Hey, half of the people on this stage are married.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Their wives
more
are gamers.
the yeah, but your wife is okay playing video games. His wife is okay.
She's okay.
In this
she doesn't
case,
do it a lot.
In this case, Tristan, his wife just doesn't really care for video games, so that's the issue that he's struggling with. So he's came to us. We're trained therapists.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
So he
licensed
goes,
in this.
I want to introduce her to video games a little more. Her video game background is limited. She played Lego Star Wars with her brother as a kid, maybe some Mario Kart. In groups, she'll play party games like Mario Party, Pico Park. And
Park
on
is
her
so fun.
own,
Pico
she'll play
Park
mobile
is-
games like Temple Run, which I didn't realize people still played Temple Run, so that is news to me.
There's a part of me that wants to actually pick it back up right now because I love Temple Run.
There is some simplicity and fun. in
Every
Temple
single
Run, for
fun game that you used to play back in the day is now completely riddled with
sure. With ads, yeah. You cannot play classic
Ad
Angry
Run.
Birds now. Like
Oh, no,
it just
did they
doesn't
ruin
exist.
the-
Like yeah,
Oh,
you cannot play
game-
like
yeah.
a yeah. It's crazy.
That's
any game that you
sucks.
could get for
Fruit
free,
Ninja,
or it just
Gone.
gets
Yeah.
Wow.
any action you do will lead to an ad,
I'm
and it's
so
sorry.
so annoying.
I'm so
That-
sorry for your wife, Tristan, because
hurt.
she's probably just running from ads.
Can you imagine just
The
Temple Run
monster
is now
coming
just
out of
the
the
monsters
temple
are just ads.
the ads.
So he goes, I've tried convincing her to play games with me in the past, and she's been open to the idea, but has struggled with the implementation. I started her with Portal,
Portal's good.
a classic.
It's not a bad one to start
But he
off.
said,
fun.
but he said she struggled even with moving using keyboard mouse control, so we didn't get very far with that.
Quick side tangent. I had a similar thing happen when I tried to get my dad. We convinced my dad years ago. My dad used to be like avidly anti-video
And so
game.
you got him to play Portal?
And not Portal. We eventually convinced him to play Wind Waker, and we all gathered in my theater room and we watched him play Wind Waker. And it would blow you away that someone who is not raised in a gaming
Yeah,
scenario
just
like
doesn't
us,
know.
that basic fundamental of like one stick moves
A is
camera, one
jump.
stick moves, like that one stick moves your character, is just like second nature to us, completely
Yeah.
foreign. Like he could not figure out how to move his character. Like, I mean, he was like, it took him, I mean, it was crazy. It was really interesting to watch someone who doesn't have that experience and like kind of learn those things that are just like second nature to us, So no, that's very real. It's a very
That's a thing, yeah.
So yeah, you said she struggled with keyboard mouse controls. So Portal, they didn't get very far. Is that I don't expect her to become an avid gamer like me, but I still want to introduce her to a big part of my life, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Very understandable,
And
yeah.
she said, I'm looking for advice on other games that I could play with her. I'm hoping for multiplayer games for PC. We don't have a console, and he has an Xbox controller he can hook up to her computer. Now, this next part, I genuinely did not think I would see this game thrown out as the first idea you have.
Yeah, I was
My only
surprised,
real
too.
idea right now is Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO. I've played the game, we both love Star Wars, and I'm thinking heavy story emphasis may appeal to her. I just don't know if the learning curve for an MMORPG would be too much for an experienced player. Do you all have any ideas?
Probably.
Keep up the great work. So, I'm just going to start with this. Why start with the MMO? Just go to Knights of the Old Republic. Like, if you're gonna, if you're wanting to play,
Isn't
if you're
that single player?
it is. But if you're wanting Star Wars,
well, but the whole point is that he wants to play with his wife.
but
so-
if you're okay with a single player, because he got her on Portal, so it's like clearly
Portal 2 has
no,
a
just
multiplayer.
Portal 1. He just said Portal.
Well, I'm assuming he meant Portal 2 multiplayer.
I feel like you start with Portal. You don't start with Portal 2. You
I
start with Portal.
I started
The Portal
with
2
Portal 2.
multiplayer assumes you already know how to use.
Yeah,
I've
would
only
assume
played
they started.
Portal 2.
I would assume they started on Portal. If she is open to single player and you want to play a Star Wars game, Knights of the Old Republic is the first nod because it gives you Star Wars and it treats you like you don't really know how to play an RPG.
I'd say Lego Star Wars.
she played Lego Star Wars.
No,
Lego
no.
Star Wars,
Get her
but-
to do it again.
Yeah.
Get her to spend
Get her to
time.
do it
So
on
here's
Lego
here's
Star
my
Wars.
worry. The Knights of the Old Republic games I feel like are fairly complicated, and that's coming from me who is an experienced gamer. I feel like anytime I've tried to kind of get into them, I've been kind of like, this is a lot.
Yeah, but he
you
was.
know?
This was going off of he was suggesting the MMO version.
which
If
is
you're gonna
arguably
do a Star
probably
Wars game
more.
that's complicated, at least go with the single player, simpler Knights of the Republic than an MMO.
But in this case, if he's specifically looking
If you're
for
looking
a
for
game to play with his
multiplayer.
wife, okay, I have 2 suggestions. These are my 2
do you got?
suggestions. One, and I'm sure you've tried this since you're the president of the Minecraft Club, but
Minecraft.
I mean, Minecraft is a great. That's how Ben met my sister.
Ben literally
was-
got married
was
through
was
Minecraft.
was
So-
playing
Take
Minecraft
notes.
because
Mince
she
raft.
plays Minecraft, he plays Minecraft. Minecraft is a fairly easy to understand and kind of get the hang of, and it's multiplayer.
And
But
you can always start it off on peaceful mode so that there's like
Yeah.
she doesn't need to get used to combat
Combat
against
and stuff like
monsters
that.
until she's already got a good grasp of the rest of the game.
And then she can spend some time decorating however she
Yeah,
likes.
Decorating.
She's
Yeah,
interested in.
that's-
is probably
Minecraft-
the definition of a gateway game. I
Yeah.
don't think it really gets
because like
much.
that's like Ben's wife, my sister. When she plays Minecraft with us, we're all out there doing normal Minecraft things.
And she's
She loves decorating the houses that she builds. She loves she will actively avoid combat whenever she can, and it's just like that. Minecraft kind of allows for that.
Yeah.
It allows for a variety of play styles, and every single one is valid.
Yeah, and I actually just remembered something. We were talking about like the WASD movement, and I remember having grown up on like the GameCube.
Minecraft was
and
the
stuff.
first game that
when,
I was
when I
really
was playing
using
on computer.
WASD.
When I started getting into computer games, I actually really didn't like the WASD movement. I wanted to use the arrow
I got
keys.
used to it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got used to it. It didn't take me too long, but at first I like
does take some
fought
getting used to,
against
and
it 'cause I was
Minecraft
like,
is-
this makes no sense. Why is it here? There's arrow keys that are perfectly good over here. But eventually, I realized like, yeah, exactly. Having your hands
Pinky over the
spaced
space.
apart. Yeah.
Well, and also you have
was
access to
just
so
better.
many other
Yeah,
keys
of all
and stuff.
the other keys. So I would say
And then-
Minecraft is the number one nod.
It's an easy one to do
But
that.
I would
I'm
assume
assuming
you
that you
tried it.
probably already tried that because you are the president of the Minecraft Club.
We would be a little concerned if you hadn't tried it already.
But-
Kristen.
But that was one thing I would say. The other thing I would say, and this is coming from personal experience, is a game that is almost to a certain degree designed for this exact situation,
Ooh.
and it is called It Takes Two.
It
Oh.
takes two.
It is a very
That's a good one. That's a good
story-driven
call.
co-op game where you can play it on 2 separate things or even just on one device. It's all like split screen.
That's a good call.
It's a story about a husband and a wife who get turned into toys and have to like save their marriage.
There you
Like
go.
it is a
actually-
game
yeah.
designed to be played by 2 people, but very almost specifically designed to be played by husband and wife or
two friends or
2
just
friends
like,
or
yeah,
like
trying to
yeah,
work
people
together.
already have a
I
good
played it.
connection.
I was dating this girl. This was probably a year and a half ago or so.
And you played it.
And she hadn't really. I mean, she was similar to your wife, where she had dabbled a little in like Lego Star Wars with her siblings and like a little bit of stuff, but really wasn't that avid of a gamer. I brought my Xbox over, and we played through the first like good chunk of It
Yeah.
Takes Two. She got on really fast. It's a very
And
simple,
you can
easy
play
game
with
to learn.
controller or with
You can play
mouse
with
and
controller or
keyboard.
mouse and keyboard. It is like literally designed for this exact situation, and it's very story driven. It's very fun. It's very much like a. It's not a game that stays still for too long. So like
No.
1 minute it's like a puzzly thing. Then the next there's a whole sequence where you have like these like almost like it's kind of hard to explain, like sap guns that you're
Yeah.
using to like shoot these like.
These,
Anyway,
like,
so
insects.
it's a very good like introduction to a lot of different kinds of video games as well because it kind of dabbles in a lot of
Yeah, I
things.
hadn't even. Yeah.
All very well done and like literally designed to be played by a couple, like by
Mhm.
That's a
Like-
yeah. It Takes Two. That's a
Yeah, I
really
think that
good-
might
be
that's a
the best
really good call.
suggestion
I
on
would
this.
say go with that one first because I don't know how much it is on Steam. Quick, Ben, do some research. How much is It Takes Two on Steam?
I
In
think
fact,
it's
if you buy
60
it right now, it's gonna be like dirt cheap in like the next week.
Because of Black
And-
Friday sales.
if you're worried about it not being a great game, it did win Game of the
did. It
Year.
literally won Game of the
Year the year that it came
What
out.
was that?
Like,
2021.
It is $40.
When it goes on
$40.
sale, it'll probably.
It's also on Xbox Game Pass though,
Well, they don't
so
have an Xbox.
Well, Xbox Game Pass can be on the PC.
Yeah, but if you don't,
There's PC
if you-
Game Pass.
people may not buy a game. If you don't want to worry, if it's on
don't
Steam,
want
it'll
the
be on sale,
But you can play the whole thing in a month, and then you can just get a month of Game Pass.
and you'll get a lot more games on Game Pass. So if there's
For,
other
like,
you see in
$10.
there,
Yeah, which
But-
will give you a lot of things to try.
but
I
It
would-
Takes Two is a good one.
I want to go back to my recommendation. Like, all the Lego Star Wars games you can play on PC. If that's something she's played before, then get her to play it again.
Skywalker
and just,
Saga.
And like any of the versions, if it's Skywalker Saga, if you want just the most content, or like see if you can get her to play like one of the ones she played from before and just run with it. They're fun, they're lighthearted, the controls are very simple and easy. It's so easy to just learn how to handle the basic mechanics of how to think as someone who plays the game, how to move your character and work out just the type of logic that you need to have in order to do well in games. And it's usually a pretty low stakes
and
environment.
They're all on Steam, and especially
the dirt
because
cheap too, especially the
you
older
came to
ones.
us at this point in the year. All the games are going to be really cheap.
Great
in
timing for
just
email.
a couple weeks. So Steam is going to be great for you. The one, unfortunately, since you don't own any consoles, we can't really say go play like
Mario
Wind Waker
Kart
or Mario Kart.
And I would
like
suggested...
technically, you can go play them, but we will not outline those methods.
Wait, did he state that he doesn't have a
no
he doesn't have a console. Like I was
They've got
totally
an Xbox
going.
controller, but it's only PC.
I was 100% going to say play Snipper Clips with her, but you don't have a Switch.
Yeah, like
Snipper Clips is great.
There are ways to go and play like GameCube and Wii era games, but
Nintendo
will not be very happy
will
with you if
snipe
you do
Aiden
that.
and his seat if he tells you
So
how.
I will not explain those methods. If you are interested in those methods,
Contact me via DM.
Reach out to us individually, and we will help you with them. But we are not at liberty to say what those methods are.
Yeah, but let me think.
I'd say Rocket League could be a good one as well.
Rocket League's all right.
Because even if you don't know what you're doing, Rocket League is just so funny
it's
to play.
just wacky soccer with cars.
It's a fun game.
IDK about that one.
What, you don't think Rocket League?
I don't love Rocket League, but that's a me thing. That's a me thing.
That's because his cooler younger brother Trey plays Rocket League, and so he
Yeah,
feels
Rocket League-
inferior.
Rocket League, I feel like, but you only have
I'm
one.
also just really bad at
You
it.
only have one controller, so you wouldn't be able to play together. Like I would
Unless
not
you got
recommend
another-
mouse
Yeah,
and
don't play
keyboard.
mouse and
Rocket
keyboard,
League.
Rocket
Like
League.
getting another Xbox controller, even just a wired
I
one,
would
is
say
dirt
another.
cheap,
You
so
can go
that's
get
easy.
especially Black Friday. You can go get a wired Xbox controller for $15.
Yeah.
So I would say Rocket
what I
League's a
paid for
good
mine.
call because it like will introduce kind of racing mechanics and like kind of like
mechanics?
object permanence and following the ball around.
Maybe that's where I struggle with Rocket League, is
Yeah,
because
it's
I have
object
zero object. The ball leaves
Object
my field of
permanence.
vision. I'm just like, where ball?
Where ball? Where ball?
Game.
Game.
But like it's also just soccer. She'll
Yeah,
get the
it's literally
concept
just soccer.
instantly.
Without having to play FIFA or a sports game because those games are way too confusing. So like Rocket League's a good call. Introducing to car mechanics, and then you could go play Forza, and like Mario Kart can somewhat transfer. You got one, Ben?
What was you say? Flash games.
Honestly,
Fireboy and Water Girl.
Fireboy and Water.
You can still find it
Balloons
online.
Tower Defense.
Bloons Tower
Defense.
Defense. Oh man, I had one.
I used to love playing
Need
Robo
for
Rampage,
Speed.
but probably
Need for Madness. Sorry.
I mean,
Need for
actually, yeah.
Madness.
Go back. We had an episode
literally
in
have an
season 1 where
episode
we
in
talked
season
about
one
Flash
where we talked about
games,
Flash
and
games.
most of them, if not all of them, you can find online in various places now. Go give
Ben
some of the
puts his
multiplayer
hand
ones a
down.
try.
Plants vs Zombies.
Plants vs. Zombies?
Land.
Actually, I was going to say, like,
Land.
strategy
Land.
games, especially top-down strategy games. Like, my wife is not much of a
Yeah,
gamer.
Balloons Tower Defense
But
and
Bloons
Plants
Tower
vs.
Defense,
Zombies.
Plants vs. Zombies, Age of Empires,
Age of Empires.
StarCraft are all very interesting
Well,
ones
okay,
you
well,
can try.
I would say
wow.
maybe not StarCraft.
StarCraft might
StarCraft
be
a little too
lot.
technical.
Maybe not Age of Empires. I would do Balloons Tower Defense, Plants vs. Zombies.
Top-down strategy
Top-down
games.
kind of what I
League
would
of
of
Legends.
Oh, do not start her on League.
Play
Here's
League of
kind of what I would
Legends.
say.
It is affecting
and
your
this is
mind.
Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon. Those would probably
Those
be
are
pretty
actually
good.
really fun.
Like, let's do a Flash game.
I would say this. Think about it. Think about the games that you think, Mark.
Think, Mark.
Think
you
about the
started
games that you started out with that got you into gaming, that were kind of like for me it was, it was
For me, it
classic.
was
It was
Smash
Minecraft.
Bros.
It was
and
Smash Bros. It
Mario,
was some of those like games like that. Force Unleashed. I talked about that in the very
Force
first
Unleashed would
episode.
be
was one of my very, very first games that
Force
really
Unleashed is on
and if
Steam.
she likes
you wanna
Star
start,
Wars,
I mean,
that's
it's not really
a solid
multiplayer,
one.
but like Force Unleashed is a kind of turn your brain off, just kill the Rancor and just knock stormtroopers into walls.
But-
like,
It fits with her Star Wars
it fits with the
interest.
Star Wars
But
interest.
like think about the games that got you started when you were young. The Zelda games. Like I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard without a console.
That's
again,
it.
but
So if the games that you
but-
started on were GameCube and styling, you want to be able to have her play those, and you don't know how, reach out to me. I can walk you through.
Or
that
try and
process.
find games that work like a spiritual successor. I remember at last year's Game Awards, we talked about some indie games that were essentially like spiritual successors to early versions of Zelda titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Which-
the early Zelda games still have a certain charm to them and were made for a kind of a younger audience.
Which is
So it's
well,
like if you want to
depends.
play, if you want her to be able to play Wind Waker, you want to be able to play. Well, Force Unleashed on Steam, luckily.
Force
But, like if you
Unleashed
want
on
to play
Steam.
like older
can-
Mario
there's
Kart,
a chance
if
you
you
could
want
also
to
get
play.
access to Force Unleashed through Prime Gaming if you have a Prime
True.
subscription.
But if
which
you're
is
wanting,
what I
if you're
do.
wanting like GameCube and Wii games, and you're like, I don't have a GameCube or Wii, and you don't want to go and get one, I play GameCube and Wii games on my PC all the time with my Xbox controller.
What,
so.
what do you mean? That's not a GameCube or a Wii. How are you doing that? Hayden?
Don't tell Nintendo.
But
So those are good. Those are really good. I would say that one.
like, what are some other games that you guys got started?
Well,
on?
Minecraft.
I
it
got
was
started with
Minecraft, Smash,
Pokemon.
Mario Kart.
Mario
Pokemon
Kart,
games are good as well.
And there are
Flash
like,
games.
There,
Flash
there,
games.
there are tons of like fan Pokemon games you can find online.
I would also say Halo. If you guys don't have like a worry about like, oh, I don't want to play a first-person shooter, and you're open to it,
Halo's
Master Chief
Pretty good.
Collection is like probably
It's
the
pretty
best
cheap.
collection of
and
like
every
first-person
single Halo
shooters
game can be played.
on Steam.
multiplayer. You can do the
Multiplayer.
campaign
And multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Like,
Mr. Chef.
Like literally
Master Chef.
running through the Master Chief Collection story campaign co-op
be a
is
lot
like
of fun.
Honestly,
literally
my
like one
first
of the
time
best
doing a
ways
Halo
to-
campaign ever was co-op Halo Reach with my brother-in-law, and
Yeah.
it was a great time.
Because you can literally get Halos 1 through 4 with ODST with Reach.
And honestly, I feel like if
All
she
in one
likes
package.
Star Wars,
Halo is
Halo's kind of got that similar sci-fi
Halo's got
vibe.
Halo's got an
and it's like a
similar
pretty
feel.
like Halo 1 is like if you've never played first person shooters before, Halo 1's campaign is pretty much
This is a
like
great introduction.
here's how you play a first person shooter.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I would also say, just in general, there are going to be things we don't think of that you might if you follow the simple advice of look for things that connect, conceptually speaking, to what your wife is interested in.
Yeah,
in
you
other
know her better
areas.
than we do.
So it's like not just like, oh, Star Wars, that's a franchise she likes. What about Star Wars does she like? What other things, what books, movies, TV shows,
does she want to
whatever
just
kinds
swing
of
a
things.
lightsaber around?
What
Force
vibes
Unleashed,
does she
you know?
like?
Yeah,
What does
she
she
want?
what other things does she do for fun? Find games that connect back to those things in an easy to pick up manner, especially if they're multiplayer and fit within her own preferences for storytelling and aesthetic, and try to go with those. And above all, don't be super pressury. Make everything a fun invitation of like, hey, would you like to try like not, oh, I think everything in our relationship would be better if we do this, which I hope is not what you're already doing, but I don't know you.
What a way to lead with.
But like just like I think you would enjoy this, or like something of like make sure that there's no pressure to your invitation. It's just let's have fun.
I will say honestly, because like in like I would also say like think about games that got you started when you were little
And what you liked
and
about 'em.
to a certain degree, think of it less as introducing. And this is going to sound weird, but think of it less as introducing your wife to new games, and think of it like how would you introduce, say, like a little brother to
Yeah,
video
it's that
games
similar
that you
kind of skill.
because like
With much
obviously your wife
degradation.
is well, yeah, like obviously
yeah.
your wife is not your little brother and is a lot older and smarter.
pick up things much faster
She'll
than
pick
a
up things
little
much
brother would.
faster, but it's a similar concept. You want
Ease 'em in.
There are beginner games that like if you were to I don't know. Also, I mean, I think It Takes Two is just
I
an
think It Takes
incredible.
Two
Like,
is a really
if
good
there's
one.
if there's
Probably a
one thing to
must
take
do.
away from this long rant that we've gone on about
Takes
this,
Two.
is play It Takes Two. It's really good.
Play it.
You
Takes
should
two.
get her to play Elden Ring. No.
Elden
Throw her
Ring.
into Elden Ring
Throw
or
her into
Dark
Elden
Souls.
Ring,
Dark Souls
Highest
3.
difficulty.
Get her
No
into Bloodborne.
explanation.
Like
Take her right to the final boss of video games and just throw her into Dark Souls 3, hardest difficulty, and be like, all right, that's gaming. Did you like it? No? All right. Okay.
Buy a Wii from a thrift store and put in Super Smash Bros. Brawl and play the Subspace Emissary with no explanation.
I will also say, and I've got to do my due diligence here.
Don't you
I've
dare
gotta, I've
say
got to
it.
do my job.
Oh,
I'm
Don't you dare.
Epic doesn't pay me for
Don't
nothing,
you
Aiden.
dare.
Wait, you guys are getting paid?
Wait, you guys are getting
Don't
paid.
do it, Corey.
Riot, where's my
Fortnite,
money?
no, like Fortnite can. The actual battle royale is definitely a.
That's the problem.
I guess yeah.
is like,
the issue
but
is
there
the
there are a
competitive
lot of
multiplayer.
the well, yeah, the competitive, but there are a lot of like very beginner friendly creative modes that you can just play
along the same lines.
completely
Roblox.
free.
Roblox.
Roblox, unironically,
Very
Roblox.
similar thing,
honestly,
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
It's scroll through
frankly,
them. Look through them, see what you
Just
can
don't get her
find.
hooked on
Find
Roblox.
some-
You're gonna have the same issue Scott has.
Yep. But like honestly, that's something we should say is there are a lot of free-to-play games that tend to be very beginner-friendly in their openings. Like I'd say even Genshin Impact is probably pretty easy to pick up. Star Rail probably pretty easy to pick up. I have no idea about Honkai Impact 3rd, also by Hoyoverse, but I've never played it. But like, and the nice thing about those is you don't need to buy them.
Don't do it. You'll give her a gambling addiction.
And there's the thing is like again
Don't
with
do
a
it.
lot of free-to-play games,
Don't
there's
do
some
it.
sort of wishing, gacha,
That's
loot
why,
box, whatever
that's why
system.
if you want free-to-play games, do the Flash games. Do
Um,
Roblox, do Minecraft, and dodge
Fortnite.
gotcha games like the plague unless you really want to have to deal with that. Because
no.
someone who's
there's-
never played games before and you put them into a gotcha game,
Well, there's the thing is like you just put them in and just have them go through the story. Tell them not to focus on wishing for characters. Just run with the
luck.
characters they already have and go through the
of
base.
course, even like.
Hey, look, as a person who's played through Genshin,
But
I know
Kyle, you
that
have more
can...
self-control. You're a gamer. You know how. Someone who's never played games before be like, but I can't. But I can. Well, I want to.
No, but I say there's a higher likelihood that she won't.
Because the only
Yeah.
reason
She'll be
I
like, there's this whole thing. Okay, I'll put something into it occasionally. That's the same way my wife is. She never tries to go after any particular character.
I
She'll
don't
just
know.
occasionally wish when she wants to.
Because I know
oh,
way
that's
too
neat.
many
I got this
I know
character.
way too many people who the only games they played or they started with were like gotcha games, and they.
Although
just
to be
can't
fair,
stop.
if most of the games that his wife plays right now are mobile games, there is a mobile version of Genshin. So like,
well, I
if
would
you're
recommend.
going
I,
through
I would.
that,
I would
guess.
say if she
Yeah,
wants to
and
play
I've
Genshin,
played it
don't
on
do
the
it on the phone.
I've played it on the phone and it's
unless
alright.
you like have a phone that like is like a newer phone. It's just way better on the
The
computer.
Asus
every way,
ROG
shape.
phone.
with the cooler.
The
Stick
black,
cooler
the
on
like,
back.
let's be
BlackBerry
real.
flip phone.
I got this for really cheap off of eBay refurbished, and it plays Genshin fine.
The BlackBerry.
You know,
what
it's
phone is
like-
it?
This is a Samsung S20 FE.
Yeah, that's like that's
It's
a flagship
relatively
phone.
recent, but it's also no. Wait, yeah, S20.
The
And
S20
this was like 150 off of eBay refurbished.
Yeah,
you know?
if you have a high-end phone, then she can play it on
And
phone. But
I
you
wouldn't
can
even
get it
call
on
this that high-end.
You can get it on
Like-
her PC, and you can play
And
it.
it runs pretty fine
Yeah.
on PC. Depending on what she has, you may need to turn the graphics down a bit, but it's a gorgeous game. And it's got a
it
fun
should run
story.
fine.
And honestly, if you enjoy like the fantasy aesthetic, you can get it for free.
Yeah, there
and
aren't
as
any
long as you
other
just
free
teach her not to
RPGs
go
that-
too crazy on the
Yeah,
gacha
you have to
aspect.
plug that barrier. You're like, do not, because as soon as she does it a few times, it's
Well,
all over.
It takes more than a few times, but
I just have.
Speaking from
I have-
experience,
I have friends
but-
who. That's how that's how it happened.
but it's a
You can
decent
play
They say
way.
Fortnite,
Fortnite.
and avoid all. Or you can just play It Takes Two.
I think
Or you
it
can
takes
just play It
probably the
Takes
best.
Two.
Start with that one.
The best
It Takes Two
option.
is
If
a
you
good
can get It
option.
Takes Two for cheap on Steam when it goes on sale, I think you start with that one because it's like It Takes Two is like just a really because it's a platformer. It has
a lot of things.
It has some puzzle things. The only thing in it, but if you're wanting the FPS, I'm sure Master Chief Collection will go on a really cheap sale next month.
Oh yeah, and it's
Rocket
not that
League's
expensive
free.
to begin with.
Like Rocket League is a good intro to racing games, even though it's not technically a racing
Well, but
game.
see, that's what I kind of like about It Takes Two is that it's an intro to like
It's
basically
intro to a lot.
all
Like,
different
I would do
kinds
It
of like.
Takes Two
There's
first.
a third-person shooter segment. I'm pretty sure there's like a racing kind of segment. Like there's it kind of
It gives off, you know what? It gives you off Little Big World vibes.
yeah. It's kind of like
Oh,
it's
my
almost
God.
like a
modern
little
equivalent of
tour.
Little Big World.
It's almost like a little tour through
Big World
all of
always
what
made me
video games have to
uncomfortable.
offer. I mean, it is literally a game that conceptually, from its
Introduces
every other
beginning
kind of game, was designed for exactly this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like that's its whole DNA. Is like
yeah.
that would be
yeah.
I would say that would be.
So
the
again,
first.
any more times we can plug It Takes Two,
It Takes
it's just
Two.
perfect for this situation.
Just wait for the Christmas sale on Steam, and it'll probably be like $20.
Or get Game Pass for PC for
Or
10
get Game
bucks.
Pass.
Or get Game Pass for
because
PC.
there are probably some other games. Aren't any of the Halo games in Game Pass?
They're all on here.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because
Game Pass may be your way to go then, because then you'd have Halo as well.
and you just have so many things you can try. And if you're like, oh, not that
You
one,
get a
that's
month.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm still on Game
Also,
Pass. Let's do
that's
the other
that's
one.
another one. Stardew Valley.
Stardew
Valley.
Oh,
Actually,
there you
you
go.
know,
Play some Stardew Valley with
might
it.
be
That's
fantastic.
I have not
Tally
played
introduced
it,
me to Stardew
but
Valley.
that's one
Hey,
that
there
Tally
you go.
and Ben play together.
And
That's
honestly,
a
that's a
solid
game
one.
I've been thinking for a while that I want to play with Nikki because again, she's not that big of a gamer, but she's open to it. I feel like Stardew Valley would be amazing.
get
It's
Game
so
Pass.
relaxing and like fun, and you can still get into more like combat-related things if you delve into the mines, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
You know,
Minecraft
And-
Dungeons too.
Minecraft
Is
Dungeons.
that also on Game Pass?
That's also-
yeah,
that's
so
also
get
on
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass.
You take the first month and like get a feel for what you want, and then you just renew it if you want, or you just don't renew it.
And I think I would definitely recommend, like, personally testing a bunch of these games first to kind of feel for
Yeah, run through
what
them
she
if you
would
haven't
want
played
or
them.
not want. You know, take a bit of time, give it a try, be like, oh yeah, this one, not that one, And once again, most of it's just going to come in how you personally approach it.
Yeah.
And in a way that is just like inviting, let's have some fun together, and no pressure environment. And that's
No
probably going to
competitive.
be no
That will
competition.
drive her away so fast.
Which is why
Unless she's a competitive person, in which case, by all means, go for it. But
Yeah.
if she's not, yeah, let's avoid Smash Bros. And
No, I feel
Oh,
like
don't
casual
avoid Smash.
Bros.
Casual Smash
casuals
Bros
is
is
fun,
great.
but don't
Yeah.
take it seriously.
Yeah, and
But
just
like-
get some friends together, casual Smash Bros.
But like, don't do
Loogie.
like multiplayer of Halo. To avoid, and that's why I was like, if you do Fortnite, stay away from the battle royale mode. Because that is like the fast track. That is the fast track to like discouraging someone from getting into games. Is you go right into a competitive game
That's
and then
true.
just
Although,
get beat.
actually, Fortnite does have a pretty good system where for the first like 10 matches you do, you're in a lobby with complete bots. Like every single one is like super easy level bots.
Well,
Okay.
And so it kind of
That's the
introduces
thing.
you
But,
like,
slowly.
I guess
Except for me, I'm just there, and I'm just as good as a bot.
yeah, so you may run across Ben.
if your wife
like-
can beat Ben,
Are you better than a
talk to us
Ben?
Are you better than Ben?
are you smarter than a
Are
Ben
you
Miller?
better than a Ben?
But this kind of reminds me of, and I feel like this applies to a lot of games. I've met people who wanted to get into, say, Magic the Gathering, and they had a friend who played it, so they asked them, hey, teach me. And the friend brings their, like, ultra
Yeah, don't go
optimized
all
deck,
out, yeah.
and it's like, lays out a million cards, turns a bunch of them, and is like, okay, you're dead. It doesn't explain a thing.
That's why it
Do
may.
not do that
That's
when
why
you're
it
teaching
takes
someone a
two-
Step at a
game.
time.
That's why it takes two to be good, and why why you may not have mentioned Minecraft is because you're the Minecraft club
Yeah,
president.
that is
And
actually something I
your
was
knowledge
thinking.
of Minecraft may be so much so that you find it
So
difficult to
advanced.
find a way to
Yeah.
like play with her, like
If you
describe it
want
to you.
that, go back to old YouTube and look up Paul Soares Jr.'s Survive and Thrive series in Minecraft and start watching from the beginning.
Watch some like old Captain Sparkles.
Creep
or,
book.
like,
Oh, man.
So like I think that's why like if you can find a game that you haven't played before either, so that you're learning it
Yeah, that could be
with
fun.
her,
Mm-hmm.
that honestly would be the most
It would-
awesome
it would
thing,
definitely level
because
the
like
playing
you would
field.
you would learn it faster than her, but she can learn it with you,
Yeah.
and you can like because then you wouldn't learn it faster than her because you're having to learn it kind of at the same pace because it takes
true.
two. You can't advance if the other person doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
definitely
yeah.
keeps her from feeling left behind when the two of you are playing. She's like, you're just playing and I'm here.
And that's why it's
being
like
moral
Lego
support,
Star
you
Wars
know?
could give that occasionally because it's like you'll know what you're doing. It's why it would be good because she's played it before, so it can
Yeah.
give her of like she can keep up with you.
So it
it's
sounds like some of our top runners are, just to sum up, It Takes Two, Lego Star Wars, Halo if she's interested in first-person shooters, potentially Force Unleashed.
Force
if
Unleashed,
she's
Rocket League,
Rocket
like-
League,
Fortnite creative
Flash
modes.
games,
Flash games.
Flash game.
Fortnite creative mode, free games, but just be discerning.
If
you
she
know.
likes music, you could try some rhythm games.
Maybe a rhythm game.
Because those are like a complete genre of their own and share like no mechanics other than just hand-eye coordination. Like you can
but
boot
probably not Osu.
you can just boot
not
up
to
Step.
start.
You can just boot up Step Mania, and that one, if she likes rhythm games, which
Yeah.
you
That's
may not
true,
know,
which,
but it's like you can explore the genres if she likes music, and like rhythm games aren't a bad call, to like because they're completely different and they're like games only in that they're like for casual, but it's like you're basically just listening to music and just having fun, and they are multiplayer.
Yeah, and I feel like just for the sake of like having this, a few to probably avoid from the get-go are more of anything tactical. So CS:GO, Valorant.
Don't go,
absolutely
yeah.
not.
Don't play League. Don't
not
play
League.
Overwatch.
I wouldn't say Overwatch.
Don't play.
Most of the esports probably not.
Avoid the esports games.
I would say like, and again, most From Software games. No,
No,
that's
that
way
is
too
that
hard
is a
starting
that is a
off.
kill. That is a.
But I feel like a lot of those are pretty self-explanatory. I mean,
Well, yeah, but if you're not already good at video games, you're just gonna get eaten alive.
But
by
like-
Dark
no,
Souls.
that's what I mean. Like
Oh, okay,
self-explanatory that like
self-explanatory, don't do it.
Tristan's a
That's true,
seasoned
he
gamer.
knows.
He knows
Don't go
not
into Dark Souls,
to.
but, like,
I'm sure he knows not to
Once
throw her
he
to
might
Dark
be
Souls.
tempted. Like I would say, not Celeste.
Well, he may be tempted at Overwatch because he plays it. Overwatch isn't terrible, but it's like
I don't think it's as beginner
in,
friendly
in
as other
terms
games.
of, in terms of the esports titles out there, Rocket League is probably the best one to do because it's like you can just turn on bots. Overwatch, in terms of non-bots, is probably one of the more friendly because of how the matchmaker works, and he already plays it, and the way that like
And
eases you
there
in.
are like there's the easy bot mode. that
Like
you
there's the
can
easy
do.
bot mode and it eases you in. I'm
it's
sure
free.
you've probably thought of trying her on Overwatch since you play it. I would be surprised if you hadn't.
I feel like at that point the more challenging thing would just be that every character has very different mechanics.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the what.
Overwatch is a pretty big bite to chew.
Don't do Overwatch because she's gonna become a Mercy one trick, and we both know you don't want that.
She's gonna main Bastion.
Don't want to play Mercy.
We both know, Tristan, you don't want your wife to become a Mercy one trick. You and I both know very well you don't want that. So I would avoid, outside of Rocket League, just stay away from the esports titles.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. Anything else? Just if it starts to feel complex or it seems to be a bit difficult from the get-go, probably.
and
just
like
avoid
if
it
you
in
want
general.
any of the early console games that aren't on Steam, reach out to me and I can walk you through the.
He'll black market deal you the good
Yeah,
stuff.
that's totally what it is.
Mhm.
What?
It
I will
sounds,
walk
it
you-
sounds like a black market
not
deal.
a
is what it
black
sounds
market
like.
deal. It's
no.
just not something that should be said on air.
I know, I'm joking. It's not black market.
Everyone who
sounds sketchy.
I mean, Tristan, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about with getting.
We
a
do
hold of-
everything legally here at Knights of the Deep.
Yeah, we do it
We
legally.
actually do that.
We do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
This podcast is one. I assure
100%
you, my
legal.
lord, blockade is completely legal.
I assure you.
But my lord, is that
legal? I will make it
legal.
legal. So there's a ton
And now
out there,
we're
but I would say get Game Pass, and honestly, scroll through the hundreds of games. But
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
for It Takes Two,
it a
Halo,
try.
Stardew Valley.
there?
Stardew Valley.
And honestly, there are games on Game Pass that she might just want to kind of try on her own. Like
if you honestly
like,
buy Game Pass and let her pick,
yeah,
let her
like
pick.
when
Let her cook.
when Tally, my sister, was like she like had this thing and she had to kind of just like stay at home and kind of stay bed rest for a little while.
Browsed.
And I basically gave her my Xbox Series S and subscribed her to Game Pass for
Now,
like
that
a
is
month.
good
And
brother.
let her.
And I
cook.
just said like I set it up with her and I was just like look
Have
through
fun.
it like
Yeah, do whatever.
like went through it with it. Like there are every kind of game imaginable is
It
on
is.
there.
Every
And it
genre
is like
of game
something
exists
will
on
stand
Game
out to
Pass.
her.
Yeah.
That's I mean that is probably.
And there's
there
a
we
good
go.
choice because if something drew her to it, there's a good chance she'll find herself enjoying
And
it.
it may not have been something you would have grabbed elsewhere. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we gave you recommendations, but yeah, give her the controller with Game Pass and just be like, you
Anything
pick.
look cool? Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Your
you pick.
turn.
You are in charge.
And
Yeah.
honestly, that is a great thing just in marriage is take a moment of like, I want to do something, but I want to make sure it's something you enjoy. I've provided these options. Take your pick.
Yeah.
You know,
Or just throw
because
the options out the
I'm
window
gonna
and
trust
pick
your
something
judgment. You know,
And Game Pass PC is only like $10 a month. Gives you full access to all of the Game Pass thing on your PC. Like it's pretty good.
You
It's
know,
not bad.
if my fun money budget wasn't so small month to month right now because I'm in college,
Mhm.
I would have already subscribed to Game Pass a while
If
ago.
I cared about playing things that weren't OSU or Overwatch, I would also have Game Pass, but Overwatch is all I need.
See, I
Well, I saw you
I play,
playing
like,
those,
mostly Fortnite,
Sword
but I
Art
still
Online
have-
games
Well,
on
yeah,
Steam.
but I already have those. I already
Yeah.
know. Those are not on Game Pass.
Those are yeah.
Those are not there.
Yeah. Anyway, that's good. There's also some different mobile games out there that can be like lighter versions of various different PC games. I remember
Yeah.
playing one that was like an aerial combat space game I used to love a ton.
You just know that they will be riddled with ads.
Ocean
Like that's-
Oceanhorn is one you have to pay for, but Oceanhorn 1 and 2 are both kind of mobile game versions of Zelda, and I've heard they're pretty good. I
Yeah,
haven't
and
really
so
played a whole ton
you
of
can
them.
try a few of those things, but you know, just
Take your pick.
yeah, we've given you a ton of
The,
options.
the Game Pass is your oyster.
The world of gaming is your oyster, man. And again, even if she just ends up just not liking it at all, at the very least, you cared enough to
You
want to
tried.
share a hobby with her,
Yeah.
and she cared enough to be willing to try with you, and that is the most meaningful part of
Like
it all,
unless you
I'd
go
say.
out of your way and like ruin the experience for her, she's not gonna hate gaming. So you at least have that
Yeah.
consolation prize at the end of the day. She's never gonna hate it unless you like
And make sure
mess up.
And make sure with all this, you're also taking time to go and explore some of her interests that you've never gotten into. You know, it goes both ways, and she'll appreciate that for certain.
Just find a game that is also. her
Welcome to
hobby.
Knights of the D-Pad, where we give marriage
marriage
counseling.
Where two of us are
marriage
not,
advice.
two of us are not in a relationship in any way.
Just play It Take Two. That's
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
that's
At
my
the end of
2 cents.
everything, out of
My
everything we
2
said, It Takes Two
It
is
Takes Two.
such a good intro.
2 cents. Get Game
That's
Pass
his
and
It Takes
do
Two
It
cents.
Takes Two, and then go from there.
Yep,
Yeah.
go from there.
Go from there. Yeah.
For any more marriage or parenting advice, send an email to knightsofthedpad@gmail.com.
Also, you should. I want to play Minecraft now. Like now that we've been talking
I
about
do not.
Minecraft, and like I kind of want to join the Minecraft club. I haven't played
Minecraft.
Minecraft in way too long.
I go through a 2-week phase every year where me and my roommates like, oh, let's play Minecraft, and then I don't touch it for the
Oh
rest
no,
of the
yeah,
year.
that's how we are too. But
Actually-
that phase is coming up for me. I can
I
feel it.
don't
I
have
can
that.
feel
My
it
brother-
building in my
My
soul.
brother and I are both on this.
Building?
Yeah. Block by block, baby. But my older brother Darren, he loves doing like mega construction projects in
Oh,
Minecraft.
so he'll have
he
just stints
recently
of-
got into this though because he hasn't finished any of his major projects. He's making this enormous cathedral, which looks really cool in this Minecraft realm that he and I are both
And then
on.
you'll recreate the
And
Hunchback
then-
of Notre Dame.
Yes.
Oh.
And then he recently, just the other night, he sent me on Discord a resource pack that he made that replaces the sound of the music discs in Minecraft with like these awesome like orchestral soundtracks from various different video games, including like Dancing Mad from Final Fantasy VI. You guys remember me playing that for you on the episode about music, and just other awesome like organ pieces.
I've done that.
And he built a working
Organ?
organ in Minecraft where there's a bunch of different buttons and you can queue up different discs to play.
That's kind of sick.
And it will play them and you can hear it throughout the whole cathedral. It was epic.
Oh, Minecraft.
Do you hear him
And-
throughout the whole cathedral?
Throughout the whole cathedral. And it's
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
small
the
building.
freaking
It's
sound reverb.
enormous.
That's
Like-
so dope.
Well, there isn't normally sound reverb in Minecraft.
How did he do with the sound reverb?
There isn't.
No,
like
no, it's
he
just you
didn't do it.
just hear
He
it.
just like you made a resource pack to replace the music on the music discs with these
I've replaced all my music
awesome
discs.
things. So it was
just
it was
play on
cool.
music.
So there's options.
I didn't know I had options. I think
Yep.
that is it
I
from
definitely
us.
play Minecraft
Anything
now.
else on the email before we just kind of
Let
start
me
wrapping
think.
things up?
Anything
I don't
else?
think. No, the agenda is empty after that.
Okay.
I-
Fair enough.
The agenda is empty. Don't bother looking.
Don't. I have to look.
I'm
but-
just
Yeah,
really
you'll
glad
need
that
a
we're
sign-off
getting
thing.
more from our audience.
One other person.
No, but like, and I've honestly noticed an increase in frequency of Scott emailing us as well.
That's
Yeah.
because
So-
we've been begging for emails, and Scott's like, "Fine, I guess I'll put you guys out of your
fine.
misery.
No, I do feel
I'll
like,
entertain you.
I'll entertain you."
and even if it's like, I know my parents will occasionally listen to this. If you guys have a question, a curiosity,
Yeah, honestly, if you, Dad, if you're listening to this or watching this, and you genuinely have a question about gaming,
If you're
ask.
listening,
if you can hear me,
Father,
can
if
hear
you
me.
can hear my voice, please.
The milk isn't that far, please.
Oh my God!
you said you'd be back in 5 minutes, Dad.
oh no,
Like
been
honestly,
13
there's
years.
no such thing as a stupid email for us. Like if we get a bunch of if we get 10 emails that are all simple questions, we will happily do a quick fire segment.
And
where we're
honestly,
just
it's
Yeah.
pretty exciting because all of us are like signed into the same Knights
Yeah,
of the
we see
D-pad
the emails
email.
as soon as they
so
come
like
in.
the email comes in and all 4 of us will
'Cause
get it,
I
and then
was
we'll
with- we were
immediately
in
like
St.
text
George
chat and be
when
like,
you-
"Yo,
Yeah.
like."
I remember
awesome.
that when the email came in.
Like
that was cool.
we will all see it. So like
Yeah.
anyone who is listening, if you have any kind of even if it's about us personally, and
There
our
are no
gaming
dumb
experience.
questions unless you're asking us if we heard about the new Mind Goblin game. You know who you are.
We met the one and only
we
man
met him
who
at the
was
wedding
behind that one.
reception.
The legend himself.
The
legend
legend
himself.
himself.
So we will take all emails and we will try our best to answer them, whether it's
Yeah.
marriage advice, even though Court and I are not married, or it's trying to get your
I will also
children
take
off of
marriage
Roblox.
advice.
You also
help
take
me-
marriage
I
advice?
will also
Scott
take marriage
just,
advice to
sends,
help me
Scott
get
just
married.
sends an email directed at Court.
This is how you get maidens.
Maiden acquired.
Oh,
We will not
dear.
be filming next week because it's Thanksgiving. I think some people will be out of town, but we just didn't. There were schedules we did not want to have to worry about messing with. And then we'll do 2 episodes after that, and we'll call it a season. We will
Yeah,
end
and
at
we are
10.
coming close to our
Episode 10, the season
season 3
finale, will be fun.
It's gonna be. Have we told them what we're doing, or are
We
we
will be
keeping
doing
that secret?
a. We will
Have
doing
we
a,
told me what we're doing?
yeah, we're doing the game show. That
we've
you and I
told
are
you.
hosting. The
Oh,
married
yeah,
game-
yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
be doing a game show. Those who are married and involved with the podcast will be bringing their spouses, and Court and I will be hosting a game show for them. If you guys want
married
to
man meta.
No,
bother,
the married meta.
if you
because
guys want to
Lillian's
bother
not
Jason
involved.
and convince him because he told me he probably wasn't interested, do that.
Well, yeah, if you know Jason, try to get him to
Get him here.
because he's such a great guy, and it's always fun to have him on. We gotta have him on.
4 teams is more fun than 3 teams.
Yeah, and we have 4
And
mics.
it creates an asymmetrical set if we only have 3 teams.
It's true.
So, Jason,
Jason.
He
Or one
probably-
of us could just get married in the next,
2-3
2,
weeks.
3 weeks.
Marriage
I don't know.
speed run. Here we go.
or if Scott, if some reason you're in town,
Yeah,
If
Scott.
you're in town, Scott, or another married viewer who is
he
interested
wants
on
to be
joining us.
involved, we will happily take you. But yeah, Jason told me He told me, I don't know if we'd be interesting, and I really went, bruh.
It's like, Jason, your Frog Fractions meltdown
I
will
literally
live in
hit
fame
Jason with
forever.
Because our season finale, Court and I will be running a game show, kind of Jeopardy style. We'll have some fun.
Guys, I have an idea. Here's
some
what we
fun
do to get
categories.
Jason on. All of us just send him the short of his Frog Fractions thing, just repeatedly, and be like, "You're not interesting, huh?"
Well, no,
Oh, I
no,
think
he's
that-
not interesting. He's not interested.
Interesting?
Oh.
I was interesting.
No,
once.
okay. No, I told him about it, and he was, I don't know if we'd be interested,
Oh,
is
okay.
what he told me.
I thought
And
you said
was-
interesting.
I bet he said
and
No,
was-
it's
interesting, and I was
literally
like,
like,
Jason is
convince
interesting.
Jason to come on because he doesn't know if he would want to come on with his wife.
But it's so cool.
So, because it'll be Kyle's last ever episode officially.
This
'Cause
is
after
true.
this, he'll be
That's
kicked
true.
out as being a knight and go back to being a squire.
No. I will be a retired knight.
actually, we
That's
do.
not how that works.
Yeah, it is.
No,
We
he-
do have to
Devoted
address.
to Squire.
We
is
do have to
not how
address
it works.
before we leave. We do have to address the end of Tristan's email.
Oh,
Did you guys see that?
the last. Go ahead and read it.
The fine print.
the fine print. Where did it go?
Oh, right. He went PS,
Where's
didn't
where's my
The
email?
postscript.
You're in the wrong email.
Nuh-uh.
He goes, no.
Here it is. Found it. Okay. He says, P.S. If y'all are the knights of the D-pad and people who help behind the scenes are squires of the D-pad, are the listeners the peasants of the D-pad?
Yes.
I know. I think knights live to serve the kings and queens of the land, so they're the royalty of
Do you know the
D-pad.
strong
Who are the
desire
kings
I
and
now
queens?
have to recite the entirety of
Don't-
Chaucer's
don't-
speech from A
Wait,
Knight's Tale?
who,
The
wait.
viewers, because we're here to provide.
Ah.
Lords and ladies of the
Lord-
D-pad.
Lords
Lords.
and ladies
Lords
of the
and ladies of
D-pad.
the
There
My
you go.
lords, my ladies, and everyone not sitting on a cushion. Today you are all equals.
So
for
Jason
you are all
and,
equally
so
blessed
Jason
by
and
this
Lillian
podcast.
are squires?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Well, no, Jason was one of the founding members. He was there from the beginning. I'd call
oh yeah,
him a
that,
knight.
he's a knight.
He's
Oh,
our
he's a
knight.
wizard.
Oh, yeah, he's a
that's
wizard.
right,
That's right.
he's
That's
the
right.
wizard.
Merlin.
Merlin.
That's right.
He's
That's
the
right.
wizard of the D-pad, and Lillian will be knighted pretty soon as she takes my place.
What is the what? She's in the academy, the knight
She's the
academy.
squire.
Academy.
The squire.
She's a knight in training.
squire,
Knight
yeah.
in training.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
and
she'll
I'll
get
just be a knight emeritus.
Yeah,
Or
an
maybe I'll graduate
emeritus
to become
knight.
a lord. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the
Lord
listeners
Riemann
are
has a
lords
nice
and
ring to
ladies.
it.
But the listeners are lords and ladies. So you,
I can still listen to the podcast.
I
He's
guess
a
you would be
listener.
a lord. You'd be
You're
an emeritus
being
knight.
promoted. You're
Lord.
being
Emeritus
promoted
knight.
to
Yeah.
Emeritus.
And honestly,
Knight emeritus, just like a general
Knight
authority.
emeritus. But like, I have
We're
considered
getting
you
deep
know
into
that
the
place?
politics of our podcast
Yeah,
here.
we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Tristan has now opened that box, and we're trying
But
to
I mean,
figure
like,
it out.
should we open sometime with greetings, peasants of the D-pad?
No, they're lords and ladies.
They're
is
lords
what
and
court's
ladies of the
established.
D-pad.
All right.
They're
all
not
right.
lower than us. We
That's
are
true.
serving them.
We are serving them.
This podcast is made for
This
their
podcast
enjoyment.
For their
will
We're
serve
almost
you.
just jesters, but because we're named Knights of the D-pad, that is not how that works.
Yeah, Jesters of the D-pad doesn't have the same ring to it.
No.
Maybe when we graduate from the podcast, we become jesters.
You
of the
become
D-pad.
court jesters.
Court jesters.
Funny.
Eventually,
Yes.
we'll get an actual sword prop to knight people with.
That would be sick,
Um,
actually.
when
I
I
have
could
a
bring,
has a
sword.
I
sword.
could bring my big Nerf sword.
Court has a
Yeah,
sword.
yeah, but
I
you
have
won't be
two
here for
swords.
season 1 of episode. Season
No, I only
5.
have one sword. I
No,
have two
I'm gonna
axes.
knight her before I leave.
Oh, you're
Court
gonna
has
show
a-
up for
I
one
have
and
a
then
Court
big-
leave?
has a legitimate
I
metal
have a big
sword.
knight sword.
Oh,
That works.
Yeah, I can just bring it.
we'll just try not to cut Lillian.
It's not
not
sharp. Maybe.
And
I
let's
can
be
sharp.
real,
Those
like-
are the most dangerous swords and knives are the dull ones, Court.
No. You gotta understand. Even with actual used for combat swords, they were not so sharp that if you ran it across your skin gently, like without any strong amount of force, that it would cut you. Because that would make the edges too fragile, and then you would just be constantly sharpening your sword, and you'd literally just wear it down to nothing in no time flat. Like a sharp sword in actual medieval combat
don't know how
would
to
be
use
dull by the standards of today's knives because we use knives for different things. Like a lot of the cutting power came from simply the force of the swing.
Swords are just glorified clubs.
Lightsabers.
Like actual medieval swords are
Yeah, that's fair.
like they're literally just like slightly pointier clubs.
Yeah, and they
Anyways,
cut because
Court,
they were
take
slightly-
us out. We're going on a wrong tangent we don't need to be on.
Go watch Shadiversity on YouTube.
Okay. Knights of the D-pad is a publication of the Daily Universe. We'd like to give a special thanks to Alan Neves and Miles Romney for everything they did and do to help us support us and continue to do this podcast. Also, if you'd like to reach out to us with feedback, ideas for topics, or just to say hello, you can shoot us an email at knightsofthepodcast at Gmail.
Knights of
Knights
the
of the
Podcast.
Podcast. Knights of the
D-Pad
D-Pad Podcast at gmail.com, and then you can be cool like Tristan.
Tristan
And
has
Scott.
shown that more than Scott are allowed to. Maybe people didn't know they were allowed to.
Yeah,
They're allowed to.
Everyone can.
And I'm still waiting for the person who emails just to say hello. I'm waiting for the email that just says hello.
Oh, hi, Mark.
We
Oh,
will
hi,
appreciate-
Mark.
With that, let's sign off. My name is Court,
I'm Aiden.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Ben.
and we are the Knights of the D-Pad. See you
In 2
after
weeks.
Thanksgiving. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Take care.
If you celebrate Thanksgiving.
If you don't, then eat some turkey still. It's good for you.